Hello and welcome all. I'm your not so humble game master TJ, and this is Dice of Ages, presenting CrestVahllen C3. We're back after a lot of crazy stuff that happened last time, some portals and continuums and some crossover episodes. We have a new friend at the table. This is Clint. Say hi, Clint.
Hello.
Hi, Clint. But that's a special person we're going to save for later. So we will get to that later. But without further ado, you guys have any challenges for me before we get into it? No quizzes, no challenges? Okay.
Not at the moment.
Okay, cool. So let's just go into it. Real quick recap of where we left off. For those of you that watched the Argent Flame, we're picking up after these two ended up in a crossover episode from them, after they got turned into spaghetti and got shuttled off to who knows where. But the rave at the end of the world ended with some people were left behind. If I remember, Talio and Len were left behind in the future.
Yes.
A bunch of like Blue Drakesh and other individuals were siphoned by Masha. You learned that Masha and Maeve were one and the same, just from different times. And whereas Masha in that timeline was at the end of her timeline, where during her death, Maeve was now right before Maeve becomes Masha. And her daughter, Huron, took her through a portal. And there was a little vignette about her meeting the Emperor of Selendist and being introduced as
Masha.
Lady Masha Ehrenbach. So when the name starts and stuff like that. So we are going to pick up after you guys were shuttled off to time. And you then rejoined the Argent Flame. You had some chats. If you want to know more about that, watch the Argent Flame. And where both of you were then sent to Spaghetti and appeared somewhere. You were thinking about, Bastion, your home in the Shallows. Yep. In the, not the Boundless Phalasia, but the other side, not the Ood Expanse.
The Western
Ocean. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but yes. And you were thinking about the Watanaote Temple, where you spent most of your time growing up and training. And so kind of got torn between the two, and you guys, I don't think your characters actually know where you're going to end up at this moment. Because what happens is that you are tossed through and tumbling, now grasping onto each other, both in the fetal position, as many limbs as possible.
I like froze our hands together.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot you froze your hands together. I think as much as you can grasp onto each other as possible, because you got torn apart before, and It was a thing when you were inside of the continuum. Speaking of which, both of you were there, so that might not come up when you guys are talking, but what had happened was that you were together through the space-time continuum in like the well wall continuum, as for lack of a better term, and holding on to each other, and then Masha Maeve, somewhere between like times where she was Masha and Maeve, showed up with like one of those cool sapphire emerald eyes and tried to like tear you guys apart, and you melon balled her eye out, the special eye out that kept like doing oppressive stuff to you, pocketed it, and then she's like, I should have never tried to save you, and you guys end up getting split.
He's got the eye.
He carved it out, but I ended up with it.
Right, you pocketed it. Yeah. Yes. And then we'll talk about what happened to you in the past. That will be later. And then you got separated and put to two different times.
Yep.
Completely in the different continuum. It was rough. So trying to prevent that, you guys are grasping onto each other as with a death grip. Mm-hmm. You guys do end up banging up against the walls of this wall continuum, because if I remember correctly, it was not necessarily a mishap, but Log was trying to help.
Yes.
Log was trying to help. Okay, you're shaking your head as in like, God damn it, Log trying to help. Yeah, it has a bad history. And so didn't it's unorthodox and non-conventional stuff.
He said the name that he shouldn't have said out
Ah,
loud.
yes, he said a forbidden name, and stuff happened. So you guys are shunted through this well continuum of a lot of yellow and purple and deep hues of blue, as you are frozen together and huddled together like a cannonball, banging up against the walls of this wormhole. You can see rushing behind you. Imagine your vision like when the ice skaters turn and spin really fast, where you try to do and the ballerina heads, where you try to like keep an eye on one space and then you turn your head real quick and then you keep an eye on one space. Your vision is like that as you're kind of looking behind of you and seeing that the wormhole itself, the continuum tube itself, looks like it's being eaten or devoured by some type of black Icarus substance that's symbiotically like stretching through the continuum and chasing you. You don't know if it's chasing you, but it's eating the stuff behind you, and it's just disappearing into black nothingness. And it's terrifying. The whole thing is a very traumatic event. Eventually, what's up?
Is it the same black nothingness from when I came from that laboratory to where I met the Argent Flame? There was like a fork in the road, and one of the forks was like the void, nothingness.
Yeah, like a space without any stars.
Yeah.
Yes, the edges of it, like teeth on your periphery, are more like the Ichor. But once the Ichor becomes part of the greater abyss, it looks like a space without stars, like the void.
Okay.
Yep.
That's troubling.
And this Ichor, both of you guys looks very familiar. You guys have experienced this kind of Ichor stuff before, and those type of black Ichor things, if you Tossel and the deer and those things that you fought in that
The whole
mine.
future.
Yeah, in the whole future, yeah. So it seems to be, no matter what time you guys are in, no matter where you end up going, this thing is there, and it's devouring even the space-time continuum. Apparently, there is a moment where you see. Both of you feel a force like trying to put two south ends of a magnet together, of trying to pull you apart, because both of your minds are set in two different destinations at the moment. And so you feel this kind of otherworldly, like reverse magnetism force pushing you guys apart, but you hold firm. I'm not going to make you roll for anything there. But there is a point at which the wormhole forks, and it's up to you guys. The only way you're gonna get, like, you can. I think both of you realize that either you let go of each other and one of you goes down one side and the other one goes through the other side, or you hold on to each other and try to bash through the woods like Finn, saying, "My way! I'm not going to take the fork. I'm going right through the fucking sign and right into the woods."
Based on the very short catch-up that we got, I think Osfer has more experience with whatever is happening here. So I'm just going to go wherever he's aiming us.
I mean, you
He
say
just-
experience.
He spent like a couple more seconds
I-
in the thing than you did, but yeah, sure.
I thought there was like... Didn't we find out you had stopped a couple of times along the way?
Not while in the well continuum.
Yeah, no.
Um,
I got put.
You'll find out more when
Yeah.
he talks about it. But yeah.
I'm gonna
So
trust him.
you guys kind of like look at you guys are just looking at each other. You look at this fork and then you look at each other. What are you guys doing? You letting go?
No.
No.
You want to bash through the center of the fork?
I mean, whichever fork is. I don't want to bash through the center of the fork. No.
Okay.
Whichever
realizing
fork
that-
is closer to
Does he
us.
feel a draw to one side or the other?
Your momentum in the moment. Sorry. You are like just like magnets now aligning to the south end, touching the north end. You, rather than continuing to tumble and bash into it, you find your pace, and you kind of lock in where your side that you're holding on to is like the side that the one fork that you probably feel you're trying to go to. Like, just the forces that may be are gently, well, not so gently, guiding you in the places that you had in your mind. So you are aligned in that fashion. However, you realize the only way that you feel these forces. So you realize that if you try to push in one way, You might go there, but you will get repelled like south on south magnets. So you realize the only way that you're going to actually go through the forks is if you use your momentum and push off of each other. There's no trying to move the orb down one aisle.
So then we're going through the fork.
Yeah.
Like, just because you feel those forces.
Because I'm not letting go.
Your instincts are definitely telling you, like, if gravity's pushing me a different way.
Yeah, if the choices are let go or go through the fork, we're going through the fork.
Love it. Love you guys. Break the rules. Let's go.
I don't follow
Cool.
rules. I follow dogs on social media.
I need that on a shirt. So you're about to crash through the veil of space and time. So I need both of you guys to, as you do so, and this creeping thing is coming from behind you, roll a Constitution saving throw as you bash into...
Hang on.
Yeah. Unless there's something special you guys want to do, some fuckery. I don't know why this is music. We should be doing something else. It should be more...
Heroism. On both of us. So, you have 5 temporary hit points.
Okay.
You are immune to frightened.
Oh, we need the well wall stuff.
We're extra brave right now, just
Cool.
in case we need it.
Okay, cool. So you guys got some temporary hit points.
Not awesome. You said con save?
It is a Constitution saving, that's correct.
10.
10.
7.
Do you have your aura up yet?
Nope.
No, not yet. Okay. 7 and 10. Okay. Neither of those succeed. You feel yourselves bash into the corner of the fork. And you definitely feel it like it's wedging in between you. Like a force field that partially disintegrates the things that it touches, you feel some of your clothing begin to and your skin begin to de-atomize as it's being pushed up against this wall. And you're now, imagine being pushed really hard into the mud. You're only like slightly submerged in it before you hit like the more hard, like dense, frozen ground. You're partially into it, and you feel that like peeling ribbons of your skin off as they become atomized and spread throughout the continuum. You're all going to take not half of this. That's 26 points of force damage to each of you. You let go or you hold on tight?
Hold on.
Hold up.
Okay.
I need to do math here.
Go ahead and roll another con save.
Not you. That's good.
You said 26 points?
Yes.
Yes.
I did. Ooh, that's good. Another con save from you guys.
That's worse actually. Cool. That's an 8.
Jeez.
I got a 19.
A 19. That's a success. You see. I'm gonna do this for you in a second.
And we gain those 5 temp hit points back.
Yep. Oh, we do?
Yeah. Every turn they recharge.
Osfer, you take 20 points of force damage. Bast, you take 10 points of force damage. But you do see Bast begin to kind of bend, just like Einstein's depiction of what a black hole looks like on the grid of gravity through that mesh, as it like is so heavy. You see him like push through the fabric of the edge of this, so much so that it parts almost like close in after him, like a bowling ball and a sock would. And it's starting to now look like he's heavier than you, so it's going towards them, and you're more exposed to all the other shit that's in the well wall, and it starts to close off. As you're trying to hold on to each other, I need both of you to roll strength saving throws. See if you can hold on to each other. You guys do. One of you is going to get advantage of this because of the frozen thing.
If you roll bad,
I
go
roll
for it.
really bad. Oh my god! Wait, no, I get to reroll once.
What it's good to be a halfling.
That's so much better. That's over a 20. That's
got
a 20,
16.
23.
Okay, 23 and a 16. You guys hear the crack of the ice and have that panic look and then do the whole predator handshake twice and pull in as much as you possibly can. You've never had brotherly love like this before. It's going to last forever. And you eventually get sucked through the small iris of what's left of the fabric of reality as you just are gone. And for a moment, you don't exist. You don't feel anything. You don't see anything. You don't have a memory of, like, there's this blank spot in your memory when you do reappear of, like, you were one place and then you're just somewhere else. But what you do find is that eventually you are... whoopsie daisy. You feel sore on the parts of your body that were exposed to the edge of the continuum that started to become atomized that's what wakes you up. This pain of flesh that has been flayed, clothes that have been disintegrated, as you come to in what smells like kind of brimstoney, but dry, not damp, but cold, not warm, like chilly. So the mixture between kind of like a chilly cave, maybe near some sulfur or like brimstone, perhaps near, but it's still dry and chilly. But there's definitely this spell of like something charred or it's kind of sulfurous in the air. You don't see anything, Osfer, as you come to, because you can't see in the dark, and it's pitch black here. You do feel like you're on a bit of a slant, and it feels like work stone below you, but kind of at an angle. And as you kind of shuffle and come to, you feel like small grains of other pebbles and stones falling down. Bastion, you wake up to the feeling of that pain, and then you get hit in the head by what seems to be a stone that has fallen down from the top. Osfer probably coughs or makes a sound, and it's coming up from him.
Oh, sure. Just throw more rocks at me. It's exactly what I need right now.
Sorry about that. I can't fucking see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to do that in the right voice. Apologize.
You can see, however, right?
Yeah.
You do see Osfer laying up on there about maybe like 2 feet from you, not even, but 2 feet's like his whole body. So,
I mean, at that angle, yeah.
yeah, like just a little bit above and like on a slant, as if what do they call those beds that came down? If it was
Murphy
like only
beds?
half put up,
Murphy bed.
The Murphy bed, yeah, as if a Murphy bed was only like half put through, and that's the first thing you see, and you see like there's a good portion of, you realize that what you're standing on, because you're not on as much of a slant, is still not fully level. It does appear to be like one of your knees is, it's a little odd. It's that moment where, have you ever gone up an escalator that's so long you can't see the end of it? So you get like, you have that kind of vertigo of like not understanding what is actually where the gravity is.
Yeah.
And
Can't see the horizon and you lose all your bearings.
Yeah. So there's no horizon here, and it seems like whatever chamber you're in, the whole chamber seems to be a bit of like maybe a 3-degree slant, and so it's giving you like a bit of like, whoa, wait, hold on. And you're usually used to this because you're being underwater, and that kind of stuff doesn't really matter as much. But being in a dry, colder space after waking up in the dark it's slightly disorienting. You do take a quick look around. There is quite a bit of ruins here. What it looks like, there on one side of the room looks like there's a gaping hole in some ruins of worked stone that appears to have almost like frozen glass that kind of is not You can't tell whether it bursted in or bursted out, but you don't see any of it else in this chamber. And it looks like obsidian glass that just goes into more tunnels that appear to be somewhat, but perhaps more sparsely encrusted by obsidian glass. But the actual threshold is surrounded by this like obsidian glass along the entirety. It looks more circular. That kind of like looks like it's definitely broken. It wasn't part of the original construction of this chamber. It was something that happened posthumously. This is a very, very old chamber. You seem to be... You don't see any sun. You don't see any light, meaning that you could possibly be either in a very, very large building or underground. Would be probably your only assumption here. As you kind of scan, look around, you see that this chamber extends a little further in the other direction. So the chambers... If this is the chamber, it's a bit rectangular. Oh, and one of the corners over here is that hole where the obsidian is. You kind of fell to this other ruined corner that had a bit of a slant on this corner if we're looking at a bird's eye view. And it kind of extends there for more ruined, less ruined as it goes along, worked stone. It looks to be, also you can't see. And you don't know architecture here.
I light a torch.
You light a torch,
Because I have one.
So you hear like Bast kind of getting himself ready and like looking around.
You're still with me there, right?
Yeah, I'm hanging out. Don't feel too good.
So you light the torch,
Yep.
and you are able to see, about like 40 feet in front of you around the area. What catches your eye mostly is the glint of the light off of the obsidian glasses in the corner, because that's very, very reflective. Kind of just point. You look down as you slide down it, and you see the work stone. Roll a history check. For me, as you see this work stone.
I'm going to give you 10 points of health.
There appear to be
17.
17. You notice as you kind of like shuffle your foot and like move some of the dust, that who knows how thick of a layer of dust this may be, how long this has been here. And dust is, and underground is, strange and weird. But you see the kind of like right angle kind of filigree. It's very Spartan. It's very... austere, but this looks like dwarven make. Like this is kind of a dwarven architecture. This reminds you of other architecture that you've seen, not necessarily like the monkish or the monastic architecture, because that was far more, even further austere and much, much, much older. But you've been in the mountain before. You could perhaps have taken some of the trash slides into not Minheim, Thulmore bed every once in a while. This definitely looks like dwarven architecture. It looks aged, though. It looks dated. Quite dated, as far as you're aware of what it is. That's as much as you can tell. You do then notice, Bastion, as he's looking at this and seeing this, at the end of this rectangle, in that other direction, there does appear to be what looks like... it's a door that on one side, on the left side, is like a half circle, as if it kind of looks like one of those sphere doors that would like and then roll out of the way.
Okay.
But one side is this half circle and the other side is rectangular. So it looks like flat, then domed, but on its side. That makes sense?
Yeah. So it's like two different doors.
Yeah. So if like the top of a mosque still went down a little bit, you cut it off and then put it on the side. Does that make sense? I can draw it if you need to. I'm really bad at describing it. I will draw it for you.
Important.
Yeah. Lay on hands. I give you 10 hit points back.
That's definitely better. A little close there.
Sort of in the sensory deprivation that we're in, you might notice my magic feels different. Like, over the last few adventures, it's shifted away from that cold, icy water to more of a stormy feeling. Like, that felt sort of like electricity a little bit.
It feels...
like lightning.
Okay.
Whereas before it felt kind of like thick and heavy, very, very humid, and sometimes
Moist.
And I don't want to say icky, but just more like cold and deep, and just kind of gave you the shivers up your spine. This felt more clean, kind of like, and electrifying and adrenaline and fresh air after like, smell that sweet ocean air type of feeling.
Well,
So this is what the door looks like. By the way.
okay. And what part of it is visible? All of it is visible?
Yeah, so the wall, this is the wall that continues in either direction.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's a seam down the middle where the rectangle like touches the half circle.
Okay.
Okay.
But you don't see any mechanisms, any doorknobs or anything like that.
Okay.
Might as well go give it a look. Unless you want to go down that tunnel.
I don't like tunnels, so let's go. Let's go for the door.
Had enough of those myself recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a student of magic, but it does feel different when you do what you do. So I don't know if that's just you getting better, or I don't really know, but maybe something to look into.
Did you happen to catch that name he said right before we got zapped out of there?
No, and I'd rather not remember it.
Yeah, I was thinking
Probably.
of avoiding that name.
Can't possibly do us any good.
So which way are you going?
Towards the door.
You want to go towards the door?
Yep.
Okay. As you walk towards the door, Bastion, you hear the because you're still barefoot, the flap of your slap of your bare feet upon the stone. This. There's just a click. Do you stay still or do you move?
No, I freeze.
Feel there was a bit of a give on
Yeah.
perhaps one of the tiles you stepped on.
I think there might be booby traps in here.
Okay. What gives you that?
Because I just stepped on one.
Shit. Okay. Okay. Well, don't move. Well, shit.
It's like the blind leading the blind. I love this.
Did you? I guess I go look at his feet.
Sure. Pull the torch closer to his feet. Look at his feet.
Is there like can I see what he's stepped on?
For as much of a excuse me rough and tumble nature guy, his feet are well manicured. He keeps his toenails, in nice shape. It looks like he buffs them every once in a while. And then you look, wait, that's the wrong foot. And you look over to the other foot. It does appear to be on a tile that seems to be partially depressed. Are you examining it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
7.
7.
Okay. This dice is going in digel.
That's a tile that's deeper than the rest of them.
Okay. Well, there was a monk at the temple who he told us a story about something not too dissimilar from this. He was in a cave and he triggered a trap, but he was able to swap out. He was stealing something from the cave, and he swapped it out with something in his pack. So I wonder if that might help here. Also, I mean, maybe I can just intervene and I'll put my foot on it as you take your foot off of it, and then I dodge out of the way because I'm decent at that. Or
There are no crows down here.
Well, I could teleport myself back as long as you're out of the way.
oh yeah, let's do that. That's a much better idea.
Yeah.
Is it just you that can teleport?
Yeah.
Or
I
can
love
can
you went on this long. He's like, or
Or you just back up 30 feet or so, and I'll come to you.
Let's do that.
That way neither of us are in harm's way.
cool. So
Fair enough.
let's call if you're facing the door, let's call the area with the half circle the left side of the room, and the area with the rectangle part of the door the right side of the room. If you're trying to go, are you trying to go towards the door, towards the tunnel, towards the left side of the room, or towards the right side of the room?
I'm trying to go retrace my steps 30 feet back from where we are right now.
Okay,
Because
that's actually very easy
there's no
because
traps.
your footsteps show in the dust. So we should be able to do that no problem. Also, you're a monk, so you can do it if you on your hands if you really wanted to. Cool, you do so. Back is up right up to where you kind of slid down from that spot.
Misty step.
Towards him.
Yep.
Cool.
Back into my footsteps beside him.
You got it. You misty step towards him as you see him go into a actual cloud of like sea mist and then condense like a fog cloud right next to you in an instant. And you hear the and there's a bit of a shift, like the whole room appears to get knocked a little further off kilter, and you see that, and you hear like the shatter of glass as you look behind you, and the tunnel that was there is no longer there because it now just looks into dirt and ground and stone. You maybe see a sliver of what was the tunnel before, but it appears to be like three-dimensionally the room has turned so much that the hole that was in the wall is no longer in line with where the obsidian tunnel was. And the whole... And so you're about like maybe 5 degrees more, so you definitely feel the change, like you're moving on an axis. And you then see, as you kind of take another look around the room, that there are these galvanized steel metal spikes that appear to protrude from the whole wall of the left side of the room. Meaning like you're now slanted this way.
Because it wouldn't be dangerous if the room was turning if the new bottom didn't have spikes.
Exactly. You also do... Actually, both of you roll perception checks at this moment. This is all very jarring.
13.
13.
Is it based on smelling or hearing?
It's basing on feeling.
Okay.
Basting on feeling. Yes, I'm gonna... My words today.
13.
13. Both of you got 13? I think with how you are well accustomed to three-dimensional movement because of water and how you are a monk and also very bodily aware, I think both of you sense something's a little off when it comes to your equilibrium, but you're not sure what it is. Something appears to be changing. Not like it wasn't just a jolt, like something is... You feel like you're moving, but you're not moving.
Got any ideas?
That
Well-
tile, though, that you noticed is permanently depressed now. From what you can say. Or it's still depressed.
Stepping on that seemed to tilt this room. And seeing as...
We don't want to touch that wall over there.
Yeah. Best proceed with caution. Or is there another way you can get us across? I know you can teleport, but...
Yeah, I can't take you with me. Can I make my way through my same footsteps back up to the tile?
You can. This will become increasingly difficult if this room continues to further slant. For right now, it's a low DC dexterity. I will say athletics or acrobatics, because if you want, if you want to like try to steady yourself by leaning on the higher part of the wall to try to grab onto it, so that your feet, because you're at like quite the slope now. You can, or if you want to do acrobatics to just try to balance your way through it. It's still a low check. It's not hard, but it might get harder. It's up to you.
14 acrobatics.
Okay, yeah, you make it through there. Step through your paces, stopping right before the tile that you stepped on.
Does the tile have any kind of mark on it? Or is it just a...
The corridor, if I would say, the chamber that's somewhat rectangular, appears to have this kind of austere dwarven filigree, maybe like 2 tiles in, and then the length of the, like running down the length of it, and that's it. You do see in the distance that there may be some more designs on the doors there. There are quite fine. It's a little, even though you can see that they're there, but to actually like examine them, you might need to get a little closer.
But the tile itself is just a
The
plain tile.
itself just, yeah, the rest of it is just bare. The only thing that's on the floor is those like edge runners.
Well, I wonder if we just subtly, very carefully test each tile going forward and see if. I mean, this is all dwarven. I don't know why. I mean, I don't even know where we are, but I don't know why dwarves would want to trap someone in this room. Seems like a whole lot of extra when they could have just sealed it off from air. But
roll a perception check, because you did ask.
they could
about
just
looking
cave
for
this whole thing
patterns
in.
and
This
stuff.
seems
Roll a
very
perception check.
extra elaborate.
15.
15. Okay. As the glint of the light of the torch becomes reflected off of the now galvanized steel spikes that you can see, you see a reflection in some of the spikes of a pattern you don't see in the room. They're smooth, chrome finished, kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see it, or you haven't noticed in the room. You start to like look around, look to the left wall, you look to the right wall, you look to the back where you were. Maybe it's under the ruins, you don't know, but that wouldn't make sense, and it wouldn't be light. And then you look at what would be the ceiling, and you see that there is what it looks like subtle patterns in the wall that from you don't look like a pattern, they look random. But they form... It's hard to say. I think from what you can say is like they look like they're pieces of perhaps a greater image, but jumbled.
There's one right above the tile that I stepped on.
It is not. As far as like if you're trying to line it up, yeah, like directly straight, like does not. No, it doesn't look like it. There's also not very many of them. Like you maybe count like 12. They are not the same size as the tiles on the floor. They appear to be squares that are perhaps maybe like 2x2 tile size. But they look like pieces of a greater image.
I'll point that out to you, but doesn't help me much.
You look at it. You notice that a couple of common things in dwarven architecture, like the whole stone relief, somebody holding a hammer, there's an anvil, like, you know, the whole craftsmanship, very stereotypical, kind of like Thulmore Bedin, craftsman, that type of thing. You definitely spot a hammer somewhere, an anvil somewhere, the part of a bearded face somewhere. But what's interesting is that different from the dwarven type of usually stereotypical depictions, there is water, a depiction of water. And you catch the very, very edge. This is sight, so why don't you go ahead and roll a perception at advantage, I believe, because of the werewolf thing.
No, sight is the one that it's not.
Oh,
Smell in here.
smell in here, right? Not yet.
Oh god, I get to reroll that.
Jeez, how many ones today?
You said perception?
Mhm.
That's 21.
21. You catch on the very edge of this, the one tile that you see has like water in it, like the kind of curvy thing, which is not very dwarven. The edge of it appears to be it next to something like glowing hot. Not actually glowing, the depiction of something glowing, like a paint something, like in steam. It looks like
Quenching.
water getting close to something hot and then colliding and having that juxtaposition of those two different forces and what comes of those two different forces. And then you like start to look and see like all the pieces are here. And you got what is it, 21?
21.
You do see that there are like 3 vacant pieces of the ceiling at about the same size.
Vacant as in
As in
like missing
they're like
holes in the
missing-
ceiling?
Yeah, like not holes, but like depressions where they're about the size of these tiles, but they almost as if the tiles have fallen off. And it's
Okay.
just the bare ceiling on top, like the bare stone. And then you hear like something stone grating up against stone as you look to the left and you see one of the tiles that doesn't have stuff on it, but that's next to one that does, shift down into partially, like maybe an inch or two, into the space that doesn't have any tiles on it. Like it moved. Like it slid into a space that was vacant.
So it's like one of those
Puzzles.
slidey puzzle games.
But it's on the ceiling.
And the room is rotating.
Fucking dwarves, man.
Is it rotating towards the round side or towards the square side?
It's the round side is on the left. It's rotating. Sorry, my left.
Is the round side rotating down?
It's the round side is it's rotating counterclockwise.
That doesn't.
Yes, it does. Counterclockwise is always the same. The counterclockwise.
No, I mean.
if the round side is on the left and it's rotating counterclockwise.
Okay. Did that door roll out at all?
Did the door
Yeah.
roll and change?
As the room rolled.
Doesn't look like it, but it would be hard for something to roll if it's attached to something square. You know?
Having trouble visualizing this puzzle.
Sure. Here. So this is the door. If you're looking at the edge of the corridor, right?
So we're looking towards.
If you're just looking towards the door
okay.
at the like edge of the runner, right? The room has rotated to be kind of like this.
Okay.
Okay? So the floor is more like here.
Mm-hmm.
Over here on this wall are the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Over here it's just regular work stone.
And then up this way is
the
the slidey
ceiling
puzzle.
up here is where what appears to be those movable tiles. Sorry, you can't hear me because I'm not. Is where those movable tiles appear to be that are of different images.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So do we find more of these trap tiles and rotate the room to the other side and then rearrange these tiles, or hope that that door falls out of the way and that we don't fall on these spikes, or
As you're looking at these as well, like these tiles are probably very heavy. So if this room like turns fully sideways and the spikes are on there, it's gonna be really difficult to push any of these like up to move them over, if any of them needed to be pushed up to be moved over.
Yeah.
If it was all the way over upside down, probably really easy. But then you'd have to deal with the fact that you'd have to go through that period of
there are
spikes on the bottom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How deep are the spikes?
They are about 5 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
5 feet into the room, they kind of some of the tiles on that side of the wall kind of folded in and pulled back as the spikes now just take over the entirety of that whole wall. They're about 5 feet long, razor sharp cylinders.
So the
cones,
back corner where the
galvanized steel.
tunnel broke through, that isn't
Now that's
on-
just earth.
But is that on the bottom?
Not quite yet.
Does that make? I mean, does that make a safe spot at the back of the room from the spikes?
Oh, you mean like that wall,
Yeah.
that back wall? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just work stone until it hits the hole that was not. Part
No, I
of
mean
the
like
room.
so. Could we hide in that corner while the room tilted?
Well,
and
no,
not
the
hit
spikes go right up against the wall.
But you said there was a tunnel coming into the corner.
The corner is now. So this corner. So if this is the room, right?
Not diagonally, it's just coming in flat on the back wall, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
If this was the back wall, it
I was
came in
thinking it
Yeah,
came
no.
in diagonally, so there's a little corner there that we can.
No. Yeah. So it came in like kind of like this way at an angle,
Okay.
but most of that is now covered by the galvanized spikes ish, and it's also still against this wall. So what it's facing is just dirt now that it's like here. Yeah. There's no real space. These go flush up against the wall. Flush up against the wall here.
How dense? How tightly packed are the spikes?
They appear to, are you, like, as far as like the diameter of them against the wall and then up, they take up the entire surface area of the wall, but there appears to be one every foot. They appear to have like a foot diameter.
Okay.
You could, perhaps as a halfling, if you want to try to fall gracefully in acrobatics, it's hard. It's going to be hard, but you could do it.
I was thinking not even fall, just like
Walk over there.
get in there.
You could.
like curl ourselves around the
Yeah.
spikes.
There's always the chance of you pressing another button unexpectedly or slipping.
Yeah.
walking back towards our corner.
But if we're
So here's the thing: every time you move in this room now that it's on that's on a steep slant, you're gonna have to roll like acrobatics or athletics checks. Perhaps if things happen fast, dexterity saving throws. But that sense, that equilibrium, something's off. Like you feel like you're moving. Bast, you feel like your foot beneath you just kind of like skid a little bit closer to the spikes, and you're like, okay, I thought that was stable. And readjust it.
Do you want to get down in there so we don't get stabbed?
yeah, the room seems like it's moving, even though we're not doing anything anymore.
Because then I can just blast the floor tiles until we hit enough of them to turn the room.
Seems like our safest bet. Let's do it.
Okay, so you want to slink your way down there?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll an acrobatics check for this. Where are you going? Are you staying still?
No, I'm going with him.
You're gonna go with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
23.
23. There's one moment where you get like a little nicked by one of the spikes, but it just appears to not gotten your skin. Just got snagged on your robes. But you do kind of crevice yourself into where the kind of puzzle body yourself into the bottom there. What'd you get?
21.
21. Same thing, except you're not wearing a shirt, so you just do get a little scrape. It's like you're playing Twister with a bunch of galvanized spikes, so it's really hard. But you've nestled yourself in there, and you're there now.
Eldritch Blast.
What?
The floor.
The floor? Just random places of the floor?
Yep.
Okay, cool. To save time, at some point you're
We're
going to
playing
hit one of
Battleship.
these tiles.
Yep.
You do.
We're playing Battleship now.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I'm trying to find the tiles that'll.
Sure. At some point you feel you blast, you wait. One of them does, and you do feel the room move again. It's like now almost at like a 45-degree angle. You then see those a couple tiles before it went down to that runner of that filigree.
Mhm.
Those tiles flatten out and pull in, and galvanized spikes begin to push through the. You're laying down, and now they're pushing through where the floor was upward, like into where you are.
No.
Like at some point, this will just be a tumbler of nothing but spikes. Are you doing something? Because these things are pushing slowly
Can we
into your
snake
position.
our way up through the spikes?
So it's currently this way, right?
Yeah.
And this was the original floor. So right now the corner is the lowest center of gravity, and the spikes are coming in through the corner here, and the spikes were this way already, and you're sitting in the
Right.
corner.
So the spikes are this way.
Uh huh.
Can we like ladder our way up through the spikes?
Yeah. If you want to like try to climb to a higher part that's closer to the ceiling, you can do so. Why don't you? Because this is like you didn't realize this was happening. Both of you just roll dexterity saving throws to do that. Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Good.
19.
19. Yeah. You guys like oh no, and you climb your way up there. What are you doing now? You've made it there. You're okay.
Keep blasting.
You keep blasting. Okay, cool. You keep blasting. You hit another one. Room turns. You're now almost entirely straight up and down. Another part of the what was the floor now completely encompasses. So now the area of where the galvanized spike comes up from the ceiling now has fully a square lattice of ones coming from the bottom and from the side. So there is a point where you're going to have to either like time your jump to get on top of the ones that are on top of these spikes to use them as like bars to not step on the thing, or cling on to one of the walls that is on the side.
So these spikes, are they like smooth
Doing
cones? Or are they like
Yeah, they are
spears?
smooth galvanized steel cones.
Okay.
Okay, so we're on the floor that was the wall that it was spikes.
Yes.
All spikes. And now we have
So-
spikes coming in from what was the floor,
Yep. To make a
Covering-
square of spikes.
covering the whole wall.
That square of 5 feet. Yeah.
Is it on the ceiling as well?
Was on the no, it's just coming from the floor.
So for rotating
the
towards
left
the ceiling,
wall and the floor.
for rotating towards the
whoop.
ceiling,
Voop now.
there's not going to be any spikes down there.
Right now it's a hot dog up and down long ways, like the corridor. So
Yes.
the first wall that had spikes is now fully on the bottom. Yeah. Yes, let's bring in a whiteboard for this.
Yeah.
This was the floor. This was the spike wall.
Yes,
We're going
yes.
like this.
Yes. Now you're
We've
fully,
gotten to
yes,
here.
Yes.
This was all spikes.
Mm-hmm.
This turned into spikes.
Yep. And now it's like as long as the spikes are coming from that part,
Yes.
are the spikes up here, so that's a square of spikes.
So we're guessing that when it gets to like here, these spikes will be all the
Well,
way
you
across.
have to, now that it is turned, make a decision to get out of that spot because you will be turned into Swiss cheese. So
Yes.
you can either like time your jumps and get up on top to try to walk along these guys, whereas like the tips of these other spikes are here, or grab onto one of the walls and hope you can hold
Wait,
on.
The
Is
plan-
Is this wall all spikes?
I'm
The
confused
long
as
wall
to
that was the floor, no,
Yeah.
just for 5 feet.
Okay.
Just the
Just
5
the bottom
feet
5 feet of it.
that
Okay.
is
Yeah.
now meshing with the spikes we're
And it's going all the way
Why
through
did I
all
design
of the
this way?
spikes?
I don't know.
Yeah, so this is the room.
I mean, God could make the spikes go away, but
The spikes are coming in through this wall.
But I mean, like, if we crawl
Turn
all the
this
way
way.
over into this corner and keep turning the room,
yeah.
these spikes are going to keep moving towards us, but they won't stab us until like the room fully turns.
Yeah, let's do
almost
that.
like you have a timer to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to move all the way
So
to the far
Your two choices are
the
pretty
ceiling corner of what was the wall.
the ground now is fully spikes.
Yes.
There's nowhere
And
to go.
we're in the spikes like a little forest.
Yeah, but you're about to be perforated by them because the spikes are
Coming from the other side.
to make it be
So we
coming
can keep
from
going.
right angles.
We can keep going this
So you can
way.
either try to get up on top of the spikes that are now at right angles in order to use them like branches, or you can decide to cling on the 180-degree floor and ceiling that are now walls that are perpendicular to the gravity.
What I'm saying is the spikes are moving this way from the floor.
Yes.
Can we get to this corner and sit there as long as possible
Oh, I see what you're
as
saying.
we turn the room?
Like the corner of where perhaps a tip and the base of one would be.
Yes.
These are every foot. You could try, but that doesn't.
I mean, because the points are at head height now. We're moving through the cone, the lower portion of the cone.
I'm sorry I didn't describe this earlier. The ceiling is only 5 foot tall.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, no, like you're in a very shallow area.
No,
This
no, no, no.
chamber
Oh.
was made for dwarves.
so we could have reached the ceiling from where we were standing on the floor.
You could, yeah, you
My elven 6 foot or 5 foot tall person was touching the ceiling.
for. Yeah, you could if you want to. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to like spread eagle?
If I could have touched
Before
the ceiling
all of the
before we
traps
turned
went
the
off,
rooms, I
could
would've
he
just
reach
put
the ceiling?
tiles.
All right, hold on.
Because that definitely changes the calculus
Sure,
here.
sure. Okay, so let's reevaluate. The ceiling is lower than what you would expect.
I would have just picked the ceiling tiles up and put them back on the ceiling.
You can't take them off of the ceiling.
Well, we could shuffle.
missing
we could do the
ones.
shuffling around if we could. I mean,
They
he
only
could,
slide. They don't come off.
Yeah, okay, but what
I
he's
could have
saying
slid
is
them from
he could
standing
reach
on
the
floor.
ceiling
Yes,
before
but
we
you
started
didn't see
turning
them
the
until
room.
you were already at an angle.
Not a steep angle.
No, but you could absolutely try to have done that. The only problem is that gravity is now affecting them, and they're extremely heavy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like once you are at an angle, or at like a full angle, it's very hard because they're extremely heavy. Like these weigh hundreds and hundreds of pounds each. So for you to like be able to actually effectively do this without too much gravity affecting it, you need to either be standing on the floor or standing on the ceiling.
But it was at least possible.
Sure, fine. Is that something you wanted to do?
I think we were both envisioning this room as very, very tall.
No,
you can't touch the ceiling.
I'm so sorry.
You have to rotate the whole thing.
That was my fault. So I'm happy to give you the benefit of the doubt. Is there something you would like to do with that before you crawl into the spikes?
play the puzzle game. Oh my god. Or do we want to just
Because-
play it through?
Because that's the thing, is that you also if this thing is moving, you also know almost any of the work you do right now is going to get undone as the room turns.
Finishes turning.
So it's not really gonna mean much.
no.
Yeah.
I believe the only thing that you probably could have done, knowing this information, would be to try to like do like a wall stand and like put your feet on the bottom and put your hands on the ceiling and try to just stay there with the pressure. You couldn't because you're too short.
I mean, I'm 3 foot tall. I can 5 feet maybe. I could quarterstaff out to the other
You
side.
can try if you
and-
want to. Yeah.
Like a-
Also, if you do that, you also, what are you holding on to? Something that may move if gravity slides down?
Yeah, true.
Like a chimney climb.
Curse my tiny limbs.
My apologies, but I don't think it changes too many things now. So, that back to the question at B, are you trying to stand on the spikes or crawl up and try to grab onto one of the ceilings and now like do the whole chimney climb?
How tall are the spikes?
5 feet. So they take up the whole space.
I could stand on top of my quarterstaff, which would put me
You could,
like not on the spikes, you know?
if you can get your quarterstaff to stay upright and
Perfectly
you want to balance,
upright,
try to balance
yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to do that? I mean, you're really good at that stuff.
Yeah, I've got this in my
At
back
the very
pocket, I
least, you
think.
could use it as a ladder to get up to the point where you could stand on the
Yeah.
poles, and so that you're not like getting perforated.
Yeah, I think I'll try to vault up onto the side spikes so
Cool.
I
So
don't get.
acrobatics check. I'll say because you're using your staff, you can get it at advantage. What are you doing, Bast?
Since I can reach both the floor and the ceiling, I'll try to like wall climb.
Sure. The check here for you is going to be you can't reach the floor. I mean, you can reach it, but right now spikes are coming out of it from where you are. So you just need to like do a quick jump and then do the thing. But
Okay.
yeah, that's where the check's going to come in. So I'll say this is going to have to be acrobat. Oh, well, are you trying to do high jump or like hup 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 jump?
If I can use the horizontal spikes to like boost myself up,
Yeah.
I'll try and do that.
Okay, so then you say that's like acrobatics then.
Okay.
23.
23. Good. You got it.
15.
15. You got it too. So you guys are now standing on the spikes, and you see the points of the other ones that were on the side of the wall, pointing up there, and you're standing there, and you hear as a bunch of the tiles, now that you're completely up and upright, like slide into place. So all the empty spaces are now up on top of the wall. You realize like you can't solve the puzzle like this.
No.
But you do see a couple of them do slide into accidental place. I'll say if you want to, guys, roll perception checks to see if you can tell what this image looks like.
Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Nice.
23.
24.
24. Natural 20, and he still got higher than you. That's ridiculous. Yeah, so you guys are fully getting the picture now. What this looks like is like the fire and the, you know what it's called, the blood of the mountain, like lava and magma that specifically has some sort of magical quality to it because it comes from this specific part of the Razor Fang. Behind this dwarf that's hammering into an anvil, that's, you're kind of piecing it together in your head, is that lava is, or I suppose what's magma is the stuff that doesn't touch the surface. It doesn't matter. Seems to be colliding with a wave of water and turning into like volcanic rock in the center into kind of like a yin-yang pattern. But you do see what looks like there is from the water side is a gnome that appears to be kind of, rather than hammering something into shape, appears to just be pressing their thumb into stone like clay and forming stuff far more curved and not right angled. And you know that if you can get this to like a place where you can like move it around, you can solve it in seconds.
Okay.
I guess we keep blasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep trying to turn the wall now.
Yeah, this will be a lot easier now because spikes aren't coming out of the ceiling. So no matter what you do now, you can just lean on the wall and eventually it'll be flat.
Okay.
What you do notice as you keep blasting is that the room between blasts starts rotating faster.
Okay.
Like with,
So
after its initial
The
movement.
first one was only like 5. Then it was like 40. Then it was
Yeah, and not only that,
45.
but after it does that initial jolt of movement, that weird equilibrium, how it was like slowly still moving, now that has sped up to it's moving much faster.
Okay.
So you have literal seconds to solve this puzzle.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no reason to do any rolls with that. You have solved most of that. You just have to solve it. What's good? It's going to come down to now is speed.
Okay. So instead of trying to force the room to rotate, do we just want to wait for it to get there? Because if we push another button, it may speed up more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You can wait. Cool. Great.
Wait till it's at a moment that we can run and start doing that.
Yep.
But we can take the last couple of seconds to like plan out. You go get that tile, move it there. I'll get that tile, move it there.
You got it. With most of that, once it finally, you wait and you just wait and you wait, which gives you a little bit more time. And it does finally become like just about level, and you could probably start right before it's level if you want to get a head start.
Yep.
And you have, I would say, like you have like 3 turns to take care of this thing. So like 18 seconds to take care of this thing. The ceiling, which was the floor, is now all spikes.
Yep.
Because of how it's like now a tumble dryer of all that stuff. I will say, pardon me. This is just going to be a series of. You guys choose whether you want to do an acrobatics check or a dexterity saving throw. But you, okay, here's the deal. Athletics, acrobatics, dexterity saving throw. You can't do one more than each. For you to succeed onto the next phase, you have to succeed on that one, or you have to redo it. And that makes you lose time. But you have 6 tries between the 3 of you. You need to succeed 3 times. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Which one are you doing first?
My dex save is 8, so probably that's the highest mod we got.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Is that another 1?
It jumped up on my other dice.
Oh my god.
That's 19.
19. That's a success. One
So
success.
we're both making 3, correct?
You have to make 3 total.
You just can't make the same either dexterity, athletics, or acrobatics. You
My
just have to make a
acrobatics is
different one.
+4.
Okay, so let me.
You each get a dexterity saving throw, an athletics check, and an acrobatics check.
Okay. We're each rolling all 3. And we need
You roll
to
one
make
at a time.
3
'cause
saves
things could
between
happen.
us.
Yeah.
So I'll do acrobatics.
Okay.
It's only a 12.
Okay, that's a failure.
Okay.
You see, like, you try to like jump over to one tile without disturbing another one, and you miss the jump, and you have to like stop it short, and you dig your heels into one that moves it 2 tiles too far, and you have to move it back, so you lose that time. What's the next one? So we got 1 success, 1 fail.
I'll roll acrobatics because I got a
Success,
+4 on
1 fail.
that.
Let's do it like that.
10?
10. That's another failure.
Oh god, we're gonna die. Spike room.
Athletics.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
18. That's a success. 2 successes, 2 failures.
Okay.
Woo, boys!
My only one left is athletics, and that's +2.
Yep.
Is your dex saving throw higher
Nope.
than that?
You can decide
Okay.
which
So
one
one
of
of
you
us
goes
just
first.
has to roll for
Okay.
roll high.
One of you can go first. One of you can go before the others if you want.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
Or-
want to take it?
I mean, mine's only a +3. It's not that much
Oh,
better.
+3 is better than +2, man.
Okay. Can we help? Like, seeing as we're running out of time, can like he help me
yeah, I
get
don't
this
see why
last
not.
one?
Yeah, you can have advantage
that-
on it if you
Yeah,
like
let's
it.
do it.
Yeah, that means you forfeit your roll though.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh god, we're gonna die.
7.
7.
5 and a
That's
1.
another failure. So you get to the point where the room has moved to the point now where gravity is affecting these things. You can still solve the puzzle, but now you're doing your rolls at disadvantage because you're fighting gravity.
Okay.
So we're going to start over again. But because a whole round went and stuff happened, guess what happens?
Spikes.
The walls. So now you are in a full tent of spikes
The other
because
wall
they're now on the
starts to
short
become
wall.
spikes.
Do we still need 3 successes, or
Yep,
do we only need
because
one
we start
more?
at 0 again.
Okay.
Yeah, start at 0 again. But every roll is now at disadvantage because gravity is affecting you.
I'll do my dex saving throw because that's a +8.
You can still do that thing where you can sacrifice your turn to help another,
And just make
Yeah.
it up straight.
but
It's
who
not
knows
going to help.
what's going
us.
to happen. And now, for every one that you
Those are
fail,
both 4.
you're going to take some piercing damage.
4 + 8 is 12.
16.
Success and failure.
'Kay.
You failed.
I failed my dex save. I rolled 2 4s.
You take 12 points of piercing damage as you try to avoid.
Are these spikes magical?
No, they're just galvanized steel. So you can take half damage. Yeah, that's just true. As you you
-6.
try to slide it, and you have too much momentum, and it goes that way before the gravity pulls you back, and you kind of collide into some of the spikes, and you're like, "Ow!" Go.
Cool. I'll sacrifice my turn to give you a straight roll.
Which roll are you sacrificing? Dex saving throw or acrobatic? Or I'm sorry, acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics.
Okay.
So straight roll. I'm going to do my dex save on this one. So 12.
12. That's a failure. So both of you are going to take some damage.
We're gonna die
Yep.
in this room. That
You
we don't
both take
even-
2 points of piercing damage.
Is that already halved, or
It's not halved.
Okay.
I won't have it for you.
okay? Just making sure.
Yep. So that's 2 failures. Now the only way for you to succeed is for you both
Both
to
to
roll your
succeed.
own
Yep.
die.
Yeah.
You can't help each other.
Okay.
Because you need 2 successes.
That's not great. I don't think that's a pass. That's 13.
What'd you get?
I got a 19.
That 19's a success.
Right. But that's only one of the 2.
Yeah.
That's only one of the 2. 13 is a failure. However,
Disadvantage is a
you are
bitch.
very close. Do any of you have any world inspirations?
Nope.
Nope.
Goose
Oh,
egg.
that's right. A bunch of them. So the room turns again, and more spikes. Well, actually, no more spikes can form because this room is now along all of the places that don't have movable tiles on them. So we're gonna start again. This will just continue until you are all the way this, and you're gonna have to figure out stuff with spikes again.
Well,
So are we over the ton? Is it now
You're at
turning
about,
back
like
to
maybe
the
like
ceiling
a
is-
20% angle this way.
But the last of it is now the ceiling is about to be the ceiling again.
The one of the wall, the last wall that had spikes, the thin wall, is
gonna be the
about to be
floor.
the floor again. It's about to be a long.
so can we do what we did on
before
the
it
other
becomes-
wall and like
before it becomes.
Yeah, but now it's just
fit
above
ourselves
us.
into the spikes?
You can't. It's either you do a whole nother tumble where you do a bunch of other
Well,
rolls to see
we're
if you don't
waiting
die.
for the floor to come back around.
Yeah, but you want to like crawl in the bottoms and continue to crawl in the bottoms all the way along.
Well, no. Now we've got ceiling spikes to floor spikes, so we should have another sort of platform we can land
Yeah,
on.
yeah. That would let that be like a dexterity saving throw because you're trying to land on.
And
it.
then we wait until the floor comes back around as the floor.
And then it's just a bunch of. It's a massive bed of spikes.
I thought not all of the floor, just the edges of the floor.
The actual floor is now all spikes
Oh.
because that happened once it became all the way around. It like it was slowly filling up. Every side of the room except for the side that has the tiles is now filled with spikes.
Yeah, we're going to die.
So you either take the tumble and hope you can survive or
until-
like crawl through and do some good checks, or you continue to try until you can't try anymore.
I guess we continue to try.
Yeah.
I mean, cool.
Okay,
Cool.
here we go.
Still at disadvantage.
Yeah, because the gravity is affecting it now.
And we start over at needing 3 every time.
Because gravity resets a lot of the stuff.
If
Okay.
you give me the dex saving throw, I've got a +8. That gives me a straight roll on
Yep.
that. So let's.
Do that. I'll sacrifice my athletics.
Because technically, you're doing a lot of moves with all of these. You're doing a lot more than 3 moves. It's just I'm just trying to simulate it for you.
That's a success. 26.
26. That's a success. You got it.
That was my dex save. And then I'll help you on the other 2 because your modifiers are higher.
+3s.
You just tell me you're sacrificing both
Yeah.
your athletics and your acrobatics.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Fuck.
So now we got to both
Now we
make
both
the
have to-
last, the last roll.
At
Fast, you take. I'm having. You take 2. You take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
You're the perfect people to be in this fucking trap, though.
Oh, that was a journey. Nope. That's the bottom one is a 3.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus, guys.
It was a 17. I rolled over to a 3.
Jeez. I can't roll higher than a fucking 3. So you take
Do we?
3 plus.
We both take
plus
how many
4. You
damage?
take another 5 points of damage. No, half. You take another 2 points of damage. Stupid.
Okay.
Both of you take 2
We
points.
might survive this. Actually,
you might.
Oh my God.
You might just be like, "Hey, just tuck and roll and let the fucking face roll." So here, this is the last check before you get to the point where it's then straight up and down long ways, and like that point. At that one, you can gravity's so
Yeah.
strong you won't be able to. You have to wait till at
Till it's
least
the
it's the
floor.
part of the ceiling.
Yep.
You know? Okay. Here we go.
So, same strategy again. Okay, this is my dex. That's 20 something.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so then I think we both roll the last 2 checks.
Okay.
So
Cool.
you got a success.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you get? 20?
23, 24. I don't
23? What did you get? Or did you
Oh,
help
I
him?
helped him on that
Okay.
know.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So,
now we,
but I think the last 4 we each roll.
yeah. So we both need to roll 2 more.
Yep.
Okay. That's
You're doing the thing where the advantage cancels
cocked,
out
but the
disadvantage.
bottom
Correct.
is 5. I've got a 5. So that's
5
my
total?
That's my highest.
Does a 15 succeed?
15 succeeds.
Okay.
So that's one that failed.
So
on
you
mine.
failed, so you take 6 points. I halved it for you.
Okay.
Sorry. I said I wasn't going to, but now I'm doing it.
Cool.
So you need 1 more success, and you have 1 failure.
Yep. Nope, that's 4.
That's an 18.
There you go. That'll do it, guys. Okay, so, but you failed, so you do take the damage.
Cool.
You take 2 more points of damage. I halved it for you. That was so stupid and wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, your puzzle was stupid, TJ. So you see then as finally as you push it, there's a lock, and almost immediately all the spikes just retract, and the room turns very fast. And so the last damage that you got from being hit wasn't from the spikes; it was just from
Landing
Osfer being
on
like,
your head.
"Duh, pop, duh," it being just flung across as the room spins real fast. And then as soon as it does, you see the rectangle part of the door slide out to reveal there's just a space, just still wall there. Just the door's no longer there, but it lets the half circle part of the door then roll and occupy the spot where the rectangle part was. So now there's like a half moon doorway through there.
That was fucking stupid.
Fucking doors, man.
You were the
Swear to
perfect
God.
people to be in that fucking trap, though. Imagine if those were silver spikes.
We'd be fucked. Just
That will never happen because that would be some intense metagaming on your part.
Oh, you're talking to me. I thought Osfer was done.
Just so that at least one of us gets out this room. Why don't
Unless
you?
it was a trap specifically made
Why don't
For werewolves.
for werewolves.
For werewolf monks.
Why
Oh,
don't
God.
you take your light foot and try and make it to that door first?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if these floor tiles start the whole thing over again.
By the way, you've noticed your equilibrium has like it doesn't feel odd anymore. You don't appear to be moving. And the tunnel is lined back up with the obsidian tunnel.
Okay,
What about you just throw me? Just shot put me.
I can do that.
Okay,
And then-
roll an athletics check to throw him. You're gonna have to toss me.
It's only an 8.
So you
Tuck
like
and roll.
starve, or you try to fastball special him, and unfortunately you kind of slip and you like knuckleball it, and you just face plant right into the ground a good 3 feet right before the door.
Ow. That was most of the way, but ow. Okay. I just
I'm
kind of
not gonna add insult to injury or injury to insult and make you
army
take
crawl a
damage
little
for
bit
that.
and get up and shake myself off.
And then
We should work on that.
I'm just gonna run.
Speaking of which, you were doing all of this jumping around and moving the tiles with your torch because you couldn't see, and which is fine. You're a monk. You know how to use you got monkey feet. You can use your feet as hands. That's fine. That's totally fine. I don't. But being flung around the room like that probably
Yeah.
doused your torch. So you light another one. You're fine.
And there's no light coming through the opening?
There's not.
Okay. Fucking dwarves, man.
I just sprint to try and get to the
You get
door
nothing. You just
Okay.
sprint right towards it.
and like dive through it.
Okay, you
I'm not
dive
getting
through it.
trapped. I'm not getting trapped in this room.
You're like that one character in the movie that's trying to overact and like dives through something, and the rest of the crew are just like, "What are you doing?" Very Galaxy Quest style.
I was just waiting for the floor tiles to reset and start the spinning thing over
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
And the door slammed shut.
You- But you guys walk through. You look around and you see that the walls are different. They're not worked stone. They appear to be metal. Some type of encrusted metal. You're not sure what it's encrusted with. Stop the microphone. You're not sure what's encrusted with, but it does appear to be somewhat encrusted metal.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it. You
Does
wanna
it burn me?
touch it? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah.
Ow. Okay. Don't touch the walls.
Wait, does it burn you?
Yeah. 'Cause
I'm sorry.
Silver.
No, not you.
Okay.
It's not silver.
Is there a pattern on this wall?
okay.
Sorry.
Now I see what you mean.
Yeah. God damn it. Fuck you guys.
Oh, wait. This is the mother lode. This is all of it. Oh, God.
What's up?
Is there a pattern on this wall?
You look around. This appears to be some sort of workshop, but it is pristine.
Okay.
It has those chains that are on those like steel mill, like girder, where they run on the I-beams that move across, so you can like hoist up a bunch of stuff and then move it heavy over like you would for like an engine hoist and that type of stuff. You see in the periphery, there's a lot of materials here. Some materials you don't even recognize. There's different types of metals. There are different types of alloys. You can smell what silver smells like when you're this close to it. And there's definitely some silver here. There's golds, there's coppers, there's bronzes. There's other metals that look like organic that you're not familiar with as much, perhaps.
Touch the wall.
But there's only like one place where the object that whatever these people were working on could occupy. It's not like they were working on an assembly line. They were all working on one thing.
Like a central workspace. and
Yeah,
they're
there's
all-
like a loader station that has like a scaffolding that has 6 pieces, and as your torch moves on and you kind of gaze in, you do see what looks like some sort of metal construct that is arms on the middle, like forks, and head held in like suspended, not quite fully attached just yet to the rest of the body, held by the other 2 forks, and the other body kind of like just keeping it upright.
Hey, touch the wall. Make sure it's not silver.
Bipedal, humanoid, perhaps like almost 8 feet tall, around 7-ish feet tall, 7-ish.
The metal wall, is it worked metal?
It
Like panels?
every surface that is the ground, the walls, and the ceiling are all the same. As far as you can tell, it seems to be encrusted with something, but it is somewhat polished, but not like chrome.
It's not like
Like
natural.
sandblasted.
Like we're not in a vein.
Oh
that
no,
they carved out
no,
this
no,
way.
no! This is like somebody carved this thing out and then plated it with metal.
Okay.
Even the floor?
Yes,
How?
every surface, even the door that you came behind,
So,
you can see
are
was
my feet
covered in
burning?
metal. What?
Are my feet burning?
Are your feet burning?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hurts to be here, like a lot.
How
It's
tall?
not like shiny metal. It's metal.
But I mean, that lets us know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'll have to like throw down my bag and stand on it for a minute
yeah,
while we figure.
because you don't have shoes.
How tall are the ceilings?
Good question. Now we know to ask that right away, huh? My bad. It looked to be about 10-foot tall ceilings.
10 foot tall.
These whatever this is, the workshops,
Mm-hmm.
the work tables appear to be short enough to be for smaller folk like yourself, gnomes, dwarves, halflings, those types of things.
And all of the walls are the same metal?
They're all the same metal. They appear to be whatever this was. It was like dug out, worked stone, and then plated with like big old sheet metal that appears to be encrusted with something. It's not like shiny sheet metal. It's more. You can't see any reflection in it. It's just
It's cold. out.
rot. Yeah.
Your feet okay?
I can't walk in here
Why not?
because they burn.
Oh, is this?
I'm guessing it's the fey metal,
Oh,
the poison stuff.
okay. So someone can work. The dwarves can work cold iron. Good to know. Why would they plate an entire room with cold iron?
So that none
Is
of
this
my
a-
folk can be in here.
This is well.
Extra security measure.
I wonder if that's not to keep y'all out, but is this? I mean, it looks like a workshop, but I wonder if it might also be a prison. Like the floor is lava, you can't leave.
Looks like a workshop for the smaller folk.
Okay.
You can roll an investigation check if you're trying to
Yes.
test that theory.
I'm gonna pull one of the nice
kinda
shirts
open
that we
That is a
scavenged
3.
out of the closet
Guys, jeez. Nice shirts that you scavenge out of the closet.
and start like cutting it up and like wrapping my feet.
From the future.
Oh, you're making like
Foot wrap.
like makeshift moccasins, like something.
Yes.
Sure.
Tying rags around my feet so I
Sure.
can stand.
It dulls it a little bit, but it's still
Doesn't feel good.
fabric is still a semi-permeable membrane. So yeah, it definitely helps, but it
like
does not feel good.
Walking on the beach in the middle of summer.
Yeah, it's more like that now rather than walking on a like red hot eye. This is not something that you could sustainably do. The tables appear to be made of metal as well. They don't seem to be encrusted, however. If you wanted to stand on one of the tables.
Sure, I'll hop on one of the tables.
Sure. I think what you do notice as you do is that some of the tools that you move aside appear to be made of it as well. So, like, this whole area was probably made to keep something not here.
Are the chains also cold iron?
Would you like to examine the change with your 3 investigation?
Not with the 3.
Hard to tell.
Maybe you can grab on the chains and I can push you along them.
I'll touch one of the chains.
Yeah, you can do that. And you want to be like, aerial tapestry type of thing. You can be pushed around by Osfer, who's like,
Push.
sure.
Give push.
Where you guys want to go?
I guess
Is there a
towards
door
the
to this place?
Behind us.
It is completely encased. In metal
Except for where we
there's
just came
one
from.
way we came in.
Well, let's go check out the thing in the middle of it. Does that look like Tintin? You said it was a construct.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like,
Or
perhaps a
Revik?
distant relative.
Does it look like Revik?
You are familiar with the sentinels. You have 2 sentinels that sit outside of the temple. This looks like a sentinel,
Oh, okay.
but like heavier duty, but not as large because the sentinels are like 15 feet tall.
Dwarves make sentinels. Okay, good to know.
You knew that. You knew like the Sentinels were a gift to to help with to keep the Celendian Empire from the war, to help with the Razorfang defend from the elves, and they were also a gift to put 2 of them directly into the entrance of the Wa'ana'ati because they respected the people that were in the mountain before they were. So yeah, these look like Zektek. It looks like a Zektek.
You think this guy can help us get out of here?
Well, I sure as shit don't know how to turn them on.
Look, you do notice, I'll say, even with a 3, you don't see any remains in here. You see dust, but it doesn't look like anybody died in here. So if it was closed off, it was left here. Nobody got trapped in here.
Is this not the dwarves' workshop, but this construct's workshop?
I'm thinking they were building him, and they just didn't finish.
Oh, maybe.
I mean, it looks like we just need to get his head on him.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
Yeah. Does it lower?
I mean, there's always the option of that big tunnel back there.
Oh, let's roll the dice on it.
Could you give me... Anything's fine.
We use the chains to lower the helmet on the...
Yeah, you can.
Sentinel?
You don't know a whole lot about Zektek, but
Nope.
Nothing out of the ordinary looks. Thank you. Nothing looks obviously out of place. Like everything looks good. It almost looks like it was kind of purposely left with the last piece just not
Right.
like the last Lego not put into place. Like it was something that was done but never activated.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay. Clang. As it connects the ball and socket joint attaches and sits into place in the neck. Nothing. Silence.
Touch it. Does it burn?
Poke.
Is it the same metal?
You poke it. When you poke it, there is a ripple, what looks like a kinetic, like kind of force field, as a reaction from your touch that burns like fucking hell when you touch it. But it doesn't feel like cold iron. It feels like something. You take 15 points of force damage from this as you touch it, and then whatever it was like disintegrates. Like that was a one-off. But something
Like a bubble popped.
like a bubble was popped. You were moving stuff around with it and examining it. Nothing happened to you, but as soon as you touched it, some fail-safe shield popped up, hurt you real bad, and this thing is auto-activated as you see the eyes begin to glow beneath this like metal hood. That is here. It'll describe it a lot. This is what it looks like a lot better than I could describe it. If you want to pass that around.
How'd you turn it on?
I think I made it mad.
It has like these two
my God.
exhaust ports on its chest.
Is that a chainsaw?
Yep.
It
Oh my
has
God.
these two exhaust ports on its chest that appear to like start to exude very hot air as they start to turn red and then white hot, and it's getting hot in here now. As it does start to boot up, and you awaken as
Go get your chainsaw.
your like boot up sequence starts, and your vision comes to. At the moment, you are in your like default awakening state, so you have your hands, your articulated hands out, none of your other accoutrement. But you do. One of the first things you realize is that you are still restrained. The first thing you get, the first prompt you get, was emergency activation, hostile enemy threat. Like imminent.
Okay. With that prompt, I guess I would ready my weaponry.
Cool. Which one? Left or right?
Let's do the chainsaw first.
Okay, so you see its right arm. It's still like restrained and kind of chained down, but you see its right arm, the hand kind of like flips back into the arm, and this short chainsaw kind of comes out in its place, very Ash versus the Evil Dead style, and starts to rev, but it's sparking up because it's held against the harness that you're on.
Yeah, I'm trying to like move it to like.
Yeah,
the
you're trying to
harness.
move it. That's what's happening.
Whoa, friend.
Oh, hey there, buddy.
No need for hostilities.
What did
right
you
now.
do?
What, are you speaking in common?
Yes.
Okay,
Do
What
I
did you
understand
do?
you
common?
understand it. Yep.
Must release.
Well, I mean, I don't want that chainsaw thingy hitting me, so let's just all calm down here for a minute.
I'll stop the chainsaw from like rotating, but I'll keep it out.
Okay.
What? Are we in your house? Sorry, we have no idea where we are. To be frank,
I don't know where I'm at either.
We sort of popped into that room back there, the one with all the
fucking
spikies.
spikes.
We're trying to find our way out. Think you can help us with that?
Processing. Do I have any knowledge of any of this?
Of where you are, no history check required. You have been uploaded with the base knowledge of where you are.
Okay.
Should the worst happen, you would need to get yourself out of here. You know how to get out of here in the most conventional way possible as it has been constructed.
Okay.
As far as knowing when you are, there would be...
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
No
anything to
concept
you.
of time. Yes, I have schematics.
Okay.
How long are you looking at Bast?
It's a great start.
How long are you looking at Bast?
At
And
him.
How long? Yeah, how long are you?
Oh
looking
yeah,
at
do we need to describe ourselves to him?
Yeah, describe yourself to him.
Okay.
You see before you a 3 foot tall, 42 pound, 45-year-old halfling, shaved pate except for a gray top knot, monk robes, backpack, a really really long sword coming like a full human longsword, but it just seems kind of like a comically large almost on a halfling. It's like a great sword would stick up, but it's not. It's just a long sword. Other than that, you see stray bits of plant stuff. You know, like
Some of your clothes are tattered too.
yeah, tattered clothes a little bit, little rough, rough around the edges there. Some plants kind of tucked in, you know, pouches and yeah, that's yeah.
Osfer looks like somebody I would run away from if I met them out in the wild somewhere.
And then my guy, I think, sort of beach bummy. He's a blue-skinned elf with like white hair, wearing like a full body like shark skin suit, like the Olympic swimmer full-on suits, but then like some cut-off canvas pants over the top. Carrying around a real fancy-looking backpack and a trident. Big, like brass trident sticking out over his
As you
shoulder.
do a second glance at these people.
Bandolier of daggers that just sort of like.
Oh right. Yeah,
I've got like 5 different handles on them, but they're all obviously like dagger-sized sheaths.
Okay.
hanging from the chain.
Yep.
Still, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first things you notice, you see the long pointed ears on this individual. This is an elven individual. 100% enemy combatant.
100%.
100% enemy combatant. Well, actually, I want you to roll a intelligence saving throw for me real quick.
No.
Bad rolls continue.
5.
5. Yeah. As far as you're concerned, 100% enemy combatant. Should not be here. That's probably why your alert came up. Like you're
Okay.
very logical. You this is person. Oh shit! Enemies have penetrated the cloister. I'm very advanced technology. They should not be here. I have to fight my way out.
So I'm going to look down real quick and just see what my restraints look like for a second.
It looks like you are held to a point where none of your weight is actually on the floor. You're suspended in this like fork harness, like 6 forked harness by what looks like galvanized steel harness chains.
So I'm not getting out of this by myself.
You could try. If you take a look at it and you know how strong you are, just because it's programmed into you,
Yeah.
it's possible.
Let me try.
I mean, you could cut through it. You could try. I mean, like you get the right angle. Like, you're a machine. Like,
Yeah.
so-
I've got. I'm pretty strong.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to just break loose.
What limb are you trying to break loose first?
The saw arm.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll a strength saving throw. I'll say
And that's an 11.
11. You guys hear the shing, the snap of chains that become taut real fucking fast, almost like they whip through the air too. As this thing, if it wasn't being restrained by the chains, the trajectory of where the arm was gonna slice right through Bast.
Hey, buddy, what are you doing? Hey, man, like, calm
Stand
down.
away. Stand away.
Yeah, we'll back up, man.
You have no problem with him.
Yeah.
What are you doing here, man?
Enemy. I just
Hey,
look at
whoa.
Neither of us here are your enemy. I can promise you that.
I mean, he turned you on, so.
I look at you and I say civilian.
Oh my god.
Let's go ahead and roll a history check at advantage as you look at him.
It's
You rolled
11.
advantage, right? You rolled
Yeah.
a 2 and took the higher one.
no, I just rolled it out. Just rolled one. You want me to roll another?
Advantage, you roll 2 and take the higher one. Yeah.
One? 4. So my highest was 11.
11. Something about their garb triggers as like, oh, not just civilian, like ally.
Okay.
Also, like
But only him though.
very respectful. Yeah.
Yeah, only him.
Hey,
Just like right now, because you're in like full survival mode.
Yeah.
And once you reanalyze your combat briefing, you probably know more.
And then I guess I'll try to take my I guess it's being so I broke free. I've got a chain still restraining me for the most part. So I'm just gonna go bing bing on like all the links and try to free myself.
Sure. Every one of your limbs, like the back of your neck, your arms, and your legs, each one of them is restrained in place. So you tell me which limb you want to try to pull out. You want to pull your left arm out now? Is that what
Yeah,
you,
well, I
what
was
you
gonna
wanna
try
do?
to use the one that I freed.
It's not freed.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't freed. Remember, it went like ching. Like
Okay.
you didn't roll high. You only rolled
Okay,
11.
gotcha.
Yeah, it just did that. Like it became taut.
Okay.
You know.
My friend, if we can all promise to just talk this through real quick, we'll let you out of those chains.
Which one was it? What was it?
Strength check on the left arm.
It'd be like a strength
So,
saving throw.
So 10.
So it's your saving throws too. So you make sure you add your saving throw
Mm-hmm.
bonus. Yeah, 10. Yeah, not enough still. So
No.
another.
I'm rolling low for some reason.
Yeah.
so-
Hey, man, just calm down. We can get you out of this harness, but you need to promise that you're not gonna
I'm kind
do
of
anything
listening to
testy.
them, but not really.
Just let us have a conversation before you go stabbing anybody.
This is
I'm in
just
like
out
survival
of game.
mode.
Just so I know, like, just because I don't want it to be too much like, oh, this is what your character is, because I don't want to impose my will too much on your character, because you do have a lot of programming and you're kind of pre-programmed with some information. I'd rather leave that to some roles, but from what, just so you know, from what you understand, these robes that this person is wearing has a doesn't have a position of authority over you, but it has a position of respect by the people that created you and what you were programmed to respect. So as far as like considering them just a civilian that nothing they say means anything, it's a little bit heavier than that.
Okay.
Um,
So I would probably
you just
listen
do
to
with
him.
that, yeah.
I would probably listen to him, but not him.
Nobody's trying to hurt you here. No one's your enemy here. Like, let's just put
It
the
also might
chainsaw
not compute
down.
because he's with me.
Yeah, and
we're
I'd rather
friends.
Yeah.
it not be like I'm a computer. I do what I'm told. You
Yeah.
act. You're a person.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
I'm kind of of the mind that I'm not sure because you're with him. So
let's just talk it out, man. How
I'm gonna try one more time just to release myself because I'm
Sure,
just
which
like
limb?
in survival mode at this
Neck, left arm, right arm, left or left.
point. Let's do right arm.
The chainsaw arm again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Roll it.
9.
9.
I cannot get.
You guys
out
are
of
lucky.
this.
what curse did you lay over this table
I
tonight?
don't know, man.
Did you talk about Will Wheaton too much?
No, well,
We're just gonna put that dice to the side.
Yeah, that one needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
I always prefer positive reinforcement, not dice jail.
You did your best, but why don't you take a break?
I've rolled like 4 fours.
Have some
on
Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, I guess, keep trying to like break free. Like, I just keep on repeating myself. I keep calling him civilian,
Should we?
and I keep
get
telling the
fuck
civilian
outta
to
here?
stay back.
This thing seems to be freaking out. Maybe we should get out of here.
I'll
There's another-
definitely start backing up. Like I'll run over to one of the other.
You
workstations.
will push off of it in order to slide on
I,
the chain.
I push Bast.
No, I'm
Shove
gonna-
him back down the.
hop out and go over to one of the work tables.
Okay, you
and,
can
like,
hop on one
up
of the tables. Yeah,
on one
that's
of the
farther
tables.
away. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Hey man, the scary elf is gone. He's I know he doesn't wear a
So
lot.
he's further back now, and
Yeah,
you're-
yeah.
I'm just faced with him, right?
He doesn't
Yeah.
wear a
Yeah,
lot of
he's
clothes. I know
taking
that
up
weirds
most of
people
your-
out
I'm gonna
sometimes.
I'm gonna relax a little bit.
Cool.
You want to tell me your name?
I just like try to like remember my name,
Yeah, and your thing comes up designation and then
designation, Fade,
One more time.
Fade,
Fade. Like
Fade.
fade away.
FEYD.
Oh.
I'm not so great with the spelling. Okay, but okay. Okay, Fade. I'm Osfer. How'd you get here? I mean, no, neither of us know really how we get here. That's a dumb question. Why are you freaking out about him? He's totally cool.
Enemy.
He's your enemy just as much as I am. To say we're not.
Elf enemy.
He actually.
What's your intelligence?
What's that?
What's your intelligence?
14, so I get a
Okay.
+2.
So yeah, you don't have to speak caveman speak. You can do whatever you like. Yeah.
I'm still like
You're fine. You're fine.
The way that
Just-
I figure it out is
I was
like
just curious.
I may like I'm gonna evolve it, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. No,
Your-
you're fine.
Your
You
speech,
just woke up.
Your
You're
speech
fine.
Yeah.
processor is still
Quickly
like
baby into
building
yeah.
an index.
I'm not fully aware
Yeah.
yet.
I'm not one of the bad elves.
Yeah, we've met bad elves. He's not one of those guys. He's cool. Can he come back over here, or are you gonna get all again?
It groans.
Stay.
Okay, I'll stay back here.
Okay. Well, he turned you on, so maybe that counts for something. I was fiddling around and nothing seemed to happen, but I don't know. Maybe he found the switch. I really don't know a whole lot about how this works, but maybe that counts for something. We didn't come here to attack you. Heck, we don't even know where we are.
Do you understand like teleportation? How that works? Like you can be in one space and then you're in another?
Too much.
Because that's
You can roll a Arcana check if you like.
Yeah. That's 4.
I think you're just still booting up.
Yep. Still.
You haven't had your morning coffee.
we
haven't
didn't,
had your morning
It's a hard
soup to
boot.
nuts.
It's a hard boot.
we didn't mean to trespass in your little room here. We came here by accident.
Yeah, if you want us to leave, we can leave, but we don't really know how to do that. And you said you know the way out, so maybe you can tell us how to get out, and we can leave you alone. Or if you promise not to get all, we can let you down.
Yes. If you release me, I won't attack.
Okay. I guess
As long as he doesn't attack.
Nope. I'll
he's,
stay.
He's hung up by chains. I guess we can go. I can go find the chains that lower him down. Yes.
Yeah, I mean you can just release the tension on some of the changes if you want to.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd do so.
On all of the limbs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, just like
You're free to
So
move.
I'm gonna retract my my blade and go back to my hands.
I'll keep my empty hands sort of like non-threatening.
Okay. And I'm gonna say since I'm starting to like, get fully booted up now, I need you to release me.
okay. Are you gonna remain calm if I do so?
I mean, you're no longer restrained.
Oh, I'm no
Oh,
longer
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
all the,
okay.
you,
He was
you
taking the
pulled all the
chain.
slack off.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought I was still
good.
chained, but like just loose. Okay.
No. I mean, like you can.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
like
Pull
chains
yourself out.
come off.
So I step off the platform.
Yep.
We cool?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
Now attack. No,
can you, can you show us the way out of here? You said you had schematics. I'm assuming you mean that.
And I just like I stare up at the ceiling for a second.
And you see all of the markings of all of like the schematics that have been carved into the ceiling, and you pull all the pieces and you archive them and get your subliminal orders from them, and like you have this moment where you just see this like scan, like beam goes on the ceiling for something that you can't see, and it just has a moment of like, and then you come back to it and you see
And
that.
so now I have my full programming.
Yeah. You see that. You don't remember that.
Yeah.
It's like a sleeper order type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm like, what are your names?
I'm Osfer Goodmeadow. Pleased to meet you.
Shake your hand.
Huge fucking hand. This tiny little halfling.
Yeah. My name's Bastian.
I just kind of like look at him with a little bit of like, not quite like hatred, but just like,
Is
like
your face articulatable?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So my face kind of goes.
It's like
Do
disapproval.
you have a mouth, or you just it's just?
Yeah, you can
glazed?
see the mouth and you can see the eyes and the eyebrows move too.
Cool.
So just like
I get a little side eye. From
like
him.
disapproval.
I
Like
kind of give you an evil eye, but not quite. It's like I'm not sure, and so I reach out my hand.
I'll reach out and I'll shake your hand.
Reach out and shake his hand.
Yep.
It doesn't hurt.
Okay.
So we left off with.
oh my God.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Go
ahead.
Oh man. This is why we
Is that
do
all
these
for you?
on Friday
The
nights.
2-liter bottle. Yeah, there you go. We left off with you meeting Fade for the first time.
Yep.
In a bit of a tense. Why couldn't I? I can't speak tonight. A bit of a tense piece, perhaps. As you shook his hand, and it did not hurt. So
Too much.
I believe, yeah, too much. As you squeeze a little bit,
Squeeze
sure,
a little
yeah.
Exert dominance.
I got that werewolf strength.
So
Didn't
it's-
hurt that bad.
Yeah. There you go. As far as testing your hypothesis is a question of whether they might be made of cold iron. They don't seem to be made of cold iron.
Oh shoot. Sorry. Think of something else.
So I'll pull up the schematics of the complex.
Yep.
And I will say, this way, follow me.
Lead on.
Yeah, you know exactly where you go. You want to like leave right away, right now?
They said they wanted to leave.
Okay.
Is there anything in
Do you?
is there anything in here you need to bring with you? I mean, I don't know if we're coming back or.
I pat myself.
Clang, 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 clang.
Nope, I've got everything. Let's go.
Okay. Hey, just before we leave, do you mind if I take some of the stuff here? There's some metal here that is quite useful to us. If you don't mind, if I take a
Help
few.
yourself.
I grab everything that's made of cold iron that I can fit in my bag and take it all.
I knew that was
go over to
coming
one of the
from a
work
mile
tables.
away.
Is there anything that I should?
Like that grandma at a nice restaurant. It's just like silverware,
Yes, yeah.
fake Newtons, everything.
Even the table bread.
Yeah. Table
pitcher
bread,
of
all
water.
into the purse that is seemingly endless.
I mean, is there any extra like
Mary Poppins?
clips of ammo or well, not ammunition, but just
Are you
like-
looking for like lenses and batteries?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. You are able to find a handful of tools that are made of solid cold iron.
Cool.
To make it easy on your notes,
Yes.
you can say tools made of, because you have that rod of cold iron, correct?
Do we?
You can
I
say
still do.
You do. Okay, good.
you can say tools made of cold iron if you want to like put in parentheses or something equivalent to perhaps 3 more rods of cold iron. If you were to melt them down and make rods of them. However, you don't know how to do that.
Nope.
Nope.
I got a 17.
17 on investigation. You are able to find an extra lens and extra battery of the ones that
Why
you
would I
already
write
carry,
iron ore?
which
Okay.
I believe is the beta lens and the beta battery,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I believe those are the ones
Yeah.
you have. You're able to find a spare one of those.
Okay.
Should they get damaged or do you need to put them into anything else, you're able to find an extra one of those. You do, I'll say with a 17, do find not necessarily schematics, perhaps more like plans or at least the beginnings of the construction of perhaps more advanced batteries and lenses. Like you're getting the sense as you were there that you're also looking around. There's a layer of dust like on everything.
Shame.
Like quite thick, even though you were contained in whatever.
That time
You're-
has passed.
You're getting the sense that quite a lot of time has passed. And the fact that you weren't activated means probably one of two things. Either the war was lost before you were able to be activated, or the war was won and you didn't need to be activated. I mean, those are the only two logical explanations, unless you have another one, but really doesn't make any other sense. Because you don't see any corpses here, so it's not like this was invaded and then left here. You weren't kidnapped, you were kept here. You were put in with a lot of logic. You're not stupid. You have a good, decent amount of intelligence. You were made to be what you are. So I think from that information is that you realize that there were people and there were people very long ago that were working on more advancements for lenses and batteries. And if time has passed, there possibly could be other lenses and batteries out there in the world.
Okay.
Wait, do we see him pick up lenses and batteries?
Yeah, you see me pick up a lens and
Do you try to hide it?
No, because
Okay.
it's mine.
Yeah.
I just see it as my own
Yeah.
property.
Yep. Cool.
What are
Pick up spare parts too
yeah.
if you need to. Yeah.
what are those?
Oh, you can get one of those the cube things that you need to
Cube.
and heal yourself when you like absorb that the 5 cubic volume of metal.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
Zectech thing.
Yeah.
There's like a dispenser you can grab like 2 of those.
Okay.
That's as many as you can carry.
What are they just called dispensers?
No, they're just so it says in the Zectech race. Let me pull it up.
You can
Just-
absorb other metals essentially.
Yeah.
Correct.
Heal yourself.
You can absorb.
But what are those cubes called?
They're just metal cubes.
Just metal
just
cubes.
metal cubes. You can just
I'll just throw them
If
in
you
my
want to put
backpack.
like metal healing cubes, you can say that. But they'd only work for you. Do you have a? Pardon me.
cubes.
Just want to make sure I get to the right.
Okay.
As an action, you may absorb a 1 foot cube. So it's a 1 foot cube, 1 foot on each side of refined metal to spend a single hit die. So these look like they were prepared to be carried by you for basically combat triage for yourself, you know? Because you're a combat robot. And there's more here than you can carry. There appear to be like 10 here, but you can, with
can only
that
carry
kind of
2.
stuff, like you only have like 2 slots. You don't have a pack or anything right now. You only have like 2 slots where they kept on there.
I look at these guys. Yeah, I'm like, you want to pick some of these up for me?
My bag's pretty full.
I don't know if I can
Sorry.
fit.
And I
that
explain.
much.
I
Osfer
explain
walks
to
up to
them,
it. It's like, what?
Yes, that's pretty big.
these metal things are like med packs for me.
I mean, while I do appreciate having healing on hand, I do not think I can carry one in my backpack.
Yeah,
It's already-
they're
if you
pretty
can,
loaded.
if you
down.
They're
Yeah,
already
yeah.
pretty full. And
You
putting
could try. I suppose like if you wanted to just keep it in your hands and carry it with you, you could. But it's up to you.
Might come in handy.
It's just there's nothing special about these
yeah.
cubes. They're just 1 foot cubes of refined metal.
Yeah.
maybe we can find you metal on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. What were those other things you were picking up?
I just show him the lens, and I said, "This is how I kill people."
Okay, right on, bud.
It looks like a bunch
Straight to the point. I like it.
of bent pieces of perhaps crystal or glass that refract light in a certain way that creates some
And
sort
then-
of magnification and lens.
And then I pull out, like, kind of shockingly to them, probably. I pull out my actual laser cannon,
As his left
because you
hand
haven't seen that yet.
transforms.
And it's a big dragon head on one. And I said, "This is how I kill people."
Okay.
They had something sort of like that
You
when
see
we
it
went, right?
start to spin up, and like this magazine that's out the side of it begins to like glow green as the
Yeah.
barrel begins to like start to
Those
kinda heat
flying
up a little
ladies
bit.
Yep.
had laser guns.
Okay. Okay.
And then you see everything, like,
But he's
retract.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Curious.
And
I
then
usually
it
just
just goes
kill
back to
people
my
with
hands
these,
again.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool.
And I'm like, "This way."
Cool.
Okay.
You come to the room where you know where there's an exit, and the exit is covered by a collapsed part of the wall. That where you fell onto.
So we went back into the spike room.
Yeah, the spikes are gone. That's
Now
the
they're
only.
gone.
That's the only other way out of here. There's no other way.
Okay.
It's plated metal everywhere.
But it's completely caved in now?
You also automatically know where not to step.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you don't even give it a second thought. You just
I'm like, "Don't
in
step there. Don't step there."
Yeah. Yeah, it probably occurs to you. Oh, right. There's people with me. Yeah.
Yeah, so we appeared in this room. We went for a little ride. So if you know the way through here without starting that thing up, I would appreciate that.
The conventional way forward was the corner that is now collapsed and caved in.
Okay. What are my alternate routes, since I obviously
see
see that that's caved in?
A tunnel. You're like, oh well, shit. My schematics don't include everything, but you're smart. You do see there's one other exit that appears to be a tunnel that appears to be encrusted with obsidian glass that kind of fades in, that goes into the earth.
Okay. Is it glassed over? Like,
Just the threshold, the perimeter of it is like
Okay.
If someone had a massive blowtorch and they were blasting a hole through something, the edges are encrusted with
Okay.
it, not the entrance.
okay. Okay. Let's go this way.
Wait, is this not the way out?
It used to be, but not anymore. So we got to work our way around it. Overcome.
Okay.
And I just start
Let's go.
marching.
Yeah, I mean, it's physically without like magic, it is the only way to like really get out of here.
Yeah. I just make sure that I'm watching, telling them to watch their step in certain areas, because I know that there's traps and stuff like that.
Yes, a point of or not. This place is unexplored by you, so you
Okay.
won't know what's happening here because this is just some tunnel that was burrowed here or created
Okay.
here after. It's not included on your schematics.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit more natural or created. The point of order, you should write down somewhere that while you're doing this, you realize that you have an additional function. You can add this as another feature to your character if you like on your character sheet. You have you have an altimeter that is specifically built into your constructor, meaning that at any time you know exactly how high or how high above or low beneath you are from sea level. You know exactly how deep you are or how high you are above. So
Okay.
if you are in like even if you're still underground and you are
It's like a gyroscope.
in a
sort of
mountain
thing,
peak, you're still underground, but you're still above. Yeah, like yeah. You have an altimeter pretty much that works on land. So you immediately get the sense as you like start to engage a couple of other that weren't necessary functions and tools of your body because you just were just going to follow the route. You're just like, oh well, now I need to be in survival mode and pathfinding mode. The altimeter ticks on, and you realize that you're pretty fucking deep. You're a good like. I hate using feet now, but this system is built around feet rather than meters. But you're about like, about 2,000 feet, like. The capital of the Protectorate, which used to go by a different name than you are, but that's its dead name. We'll talk about it later. The capital of the Protectorate is not technically at sea level because it is on like a hill. It is about 500 feet above sea level, we'll say. All right? And I should write that down before I forget it because I will forget it.
Sounds like a challenge.
It. Fuck you. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There it is. So you get the sense that you're 2,000 feet below sea level, meaning that the capital that you're under, you could be a good 1,500 feet below, and you also know. Actually, roll a history check for me.
$13.
13. You know that you are encroaching the border of the Deep Under. And the Deep Under is where a bunch of other denizens live that are like another civilization in like Journey to the Center of the Earth style, but dark.
Like the cavern layers in Dwarf Fortress.
Cavern layers.
Like chuds. Cannibals.
Sure. And it's where a bunch of other like civilizations and creatures that are just kind of demonstrably less. They acquiesce less to people encroaching upon their territory and strangers. A little bit more violent than. But anyway, so you're quite deep.
Okay. Well, knowing this and knowing that I'm going into an unknown area, I'm going to ready both of my weapons.
Hey, man, I thought we were taking it easy. What's
I go full beast mode.
what's going on, man?
So I'll just relay some of the information about how he's saying like some of the underground inhabitants aren't very friendly.
Wait, so we're going farther down?
Unfortunately, I don't know if it's further down, but we're already about 2,000 feet from the surface.
Below sea level.
Or below sea level.
Yeah,
Sea
we don't
level.
know the
You know
surfaces.
you're about 1,500 feet from the surface.
From yeah.
Okay.
If
Well-
you are where you are, because
So-
you know where you are. You're
TJ, sea level, 500 feet above it,
Uh huh.
2,000 feet below it.
No, so 15,000 feet below the
15,000?
surface.
You said 2,000.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
So
Math.
1,000 would put us 15 below the surface. 10,000.
Sea level, the capital's 500 above
Yep.
sea level. So you're 2,500 feet.
Below the surface.
Wait, no, you're 2,000 feet below the
we're-
sea level. So you're 2,500 feet below the surface.
Okay.
You
Yes.
know
Cool.
that. Yes. Sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
So I'm 2,000 feet below sea level.
Yes.
I'm so nervous and
And another 500 feet to get to the surface.
yeah.
So I just relay this to you guys. I'm like, hey,
Wait, you know where we are?
we are 2,000 feet below
Sea level.
currently,
You know that you are
Um,
nearly directly under the capital of the Protectorate.
and we're below the capital of the Protectorate. Whatever that is.
Okay.
You know.
Well, at least now we know where we are. Roundabouts. What
Yeah,
the hell is
so,
this doing down here?
And so we need to find our way up.
for Clint's notes, the Protectorate is a nation. The Greater Protectorate is a nation that pretty much encapsulated the large part of the nation, the continent of CrestVahllen in the center of it, and that kind of spread out into the edges. That was mostly a human nation, but large portions and swaths of it.
This mountain and that mountain.
Yeah,
This
pretty
is all
much.
the Protectorate.
It's the largest nation on the continent. It was mostly a human nation, but over the years became just a melting pot of everything because it was very welcoming. But many territories of it were the Celendian Empire absconded with many of it and took over it because they were a wave that moved forward. And technically, the during the time that or your most up-to-date information on what the history was up to when your memory core was updated, the Maginot line of where the war was was pushed up against the Razorfang mountain range, so it had enveloped the capital, but the capital was still a bastion. Behind its walls was still, they kept their independence because the Celendian Empire couldn't get past their walls. And you are very well aware that the walls of the Protectorate have never been breached conventionally, like as far as like nobody
Until
has been
I'm
able to...
updated or whatever.
Yeah.
you know.
So you know that, like, as far as you know, if you were in that time, you know that a lot of time has passed. But as far as you know, technically you're still behind enemy lines in like.
Actually, you know what I'd probably do is I'd
But in a safe
probably
space.
take a little bit of time out with these guys, and I would draw them the map that I show and see if it matches up with what they've got.
Sure. You can draw the map. You can like full iRobot.
Yeah.
Sketch the map out.
And I do this on the ground for you guys.
And as far as like topographically, geographically, it's pretty similar. There's nothing like hugely different about it. If you wanted to like show, oh well, this is where the Maginot line is, like the cold, the Iron Curtain
where they
is.
they can tell me like where the
Yeah,
line
it
moved to. Or whatever.
meshes right up against the foothills of the Razorfang.
Okay.
As far as this is where the Celendian Empire's forces are, and this is where the war is. And you specifically are aware, like, no, the war's over and it has been for a very long time.
Yeah.
Who won?
You know, I probably need to roll for that because my history is bad.
The fact that you are alive and the Watanabe Temple is still working probably means that the Celendian Empire did not win.
The elves only have a few cities.
It's actually extremely
right.
common knowledge that that there was a stalemate between the Razorfang Agreement and the Celendian Empire that pushed up against the Razorfang Agreement, and at one point, the Celendian Empire forces just dispersed and disappeared, and that's the common knowledge ends, but like nobody really knows why, and the war was. And stopped, and now the elves themselves are somewhat of an endangered species.
Well, the elves didn't win. They just kind of gave up one day. I don't really know.
Elves are bad. And I look at you.
Well,
Hey, not all elves.
You're a learning computer. You take in
Yeah.
information very, very like you have a soul. You're a person.
Yeah.
It's just like you can do whatever you like when it comes to that. I don't want to keep you within the constraints of like you act it however you like.
Yeah.
I always like. Sorry, quick aside. I
Sure.
always role play it like Alphonse Elric, the one who's
Alphonse
in.
Elric. I also
like,
think
Soul
of Johnny
Trap.
Five
Yeah.
from Short Circuit because he's like a learning computer as well
Yeah.
sometimes.
Like a soul trapped in a metal body.
Yeah.
Like
He's just a full person though.
Yeah.
He's just has a different body. He's
Yeah.
still a boy.
yeah. Wait.
Okay. So elves are endangered. Okay. So it gives me just some side info.
You're like, good news, check mark.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll just have my weaponry out,
Sure.
and I don't know if I have a light source or not.
Well, I've got torches.
Do you have dark vision? I don't think you do. You do not.
Osfer's got a torch though, lit. So there is light
Yeah, shit's lit.
Yeah.
for you guys. So we need to be going up,
Yeah.
but this isn't the regular path. This is a new one.
This is the only path.
And it slopes down.
I don't think it slopes down. He didn't say that.
We didn't. Are you guys going through this tunnel?
Yeah.
You quickly, as you kind of turn the corner and it turned another corner because there's no other place that you go, you do come to somewhat of a junction where there are several tunnels that spread out in all types of three-dimensional directions. All of them appear to be somewhat encrusted, at least, at the very least, sparsely with obsidian.
These don't look dwarven, then, right?
No.
Okay.
I'll analyze the ground to see if any one of these could lead to a higher elevation using my altimeter,
So,
I guess.
because they spread out in like sparsely three-dimensional directions and a bit of slopes, there are some that go more up and more that go down.
Okay, which ones go up?
There are more that go up than go down. There's only like 2 that go down. There's like 17 that go up.
Okay.
Do any of those look like they're going to cross back into your actual map?
Roll a survival check.
We
I'll
could
say with
always
advantage
just
because you
YOLO
have
and go
like
Underdark.
basic schematics of what's going on here.
20. Dirty.
20. 2 things you notice. Some of these, the ones that go up, appear to have more obsidian with them. It appears that the higher you appear to go up, the more obsidian that appears to like surround these things. The ones that go down, not so much.
Okay.
You get a cardinal direction of you're basically, as far as your knowledge and your probing is, you know where you are. You're almost directly below like the center of the capital of the Protectorate, and meaning that it would be preferable if you could spiral your way up rather than like go in a certain direction, but it doesn't really matter. You do know that if you could go straight up, you would end up in the Midnight Athenaeum, which is another like obsidian and gold encrusted spire that would go straight up.
That would explain the
is
obsidian.
a large place.
Okay.
That is, but this capital is quite large with very big walls. So you know that if you take a tunnel up that is very, very steep, there's a better chance of you landing within the walls of the capital.
Okay.
One that is not as steep, there's a greater chance of you landing outside of the wall of the capital.
So guys, the tunnels with the obsidian is like better for us. It tells us to go up versus the tunnels that don't have as much obsidian.
Correct.
Well,
That's a good point too. The steeper tunnels that would land you within, have a greater chance of landing within the walls, have more obsidian within them.
do we
we
need
probably
to
get-
go in the city, or do we just need to get to the surface?
Well, if we want to get to the surface the quickest, which is always a straight line, then I would recommend choosing a tunnel with the most obsidian in it.
Your microphone.
I mean,
Yeah,
What
you
are
just
our-
gotta scoot it a little
Cheat.
bit.
You
and
just got to
yeah.
cheat into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
what
yeah,
are
yeah.
our plans?
So like, yeah.
Don't we need to
Cheating
get
into
to
it is
your
not
bring us
temple?
over here.
Yeah, we should talk about that. Where do we want to go from here?
I think we need to get to one of the monk temples and let them know what's
What we
happening.
found? Yeah,
Because they are the only ones that can fight against
they have the best shot.
the
Yeah.
Ichor.
Yeah, I mean, there's a temple that we were still searching for in the Shalian Cradle, but I know exactly how to get to the temple near here. I mean, it's not near here, but, you know. Yeah, we could always pop back. Maybe,
At least if we get to the surface, then you can figure out where to go from there.
my only concern is I don't know where this is, so I don't know if we pop up somewhere and someone's like, hey, how did you get in here? You're not supposed to be here.
I did draw that map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
and
Etch-a-Sketch.
it's
We
very
got him.
similar.
He'll get us out of
As far as
trouble
like
if we're-
topographical, the map isn't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where stuff is.
Yeah.
Still
So
the same.
I literally drew out a
Names.
map for you guys to tell you exactly where you're at, so you do know.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell us who owns it, if anyone would be pissed that we're here. when we pop up on the surface.
Osfer, can you please? Why don't you roll a history check at advantage for me?
That's one of them was 20, so 19.
19.
I have a -1 in intelligence, man.
You are. Again, it's one of the more common. There's no way you would know this.
Nope.
There's one of the more common knowledge things about, like, oh, that's the capital of the Protectorate. It's like in the almost dead center of the continent. Give or take.
Yeah, I've been through there.
Yeah, you've been through there. You've done a couple, like, like short pilgrimages, escorting, that type of thing. Basically where on the map you are. You also know that the Protectorate, the capital of the Protectorate itself is a city, and it's it's peaceful. It's like New York City, but like with walls, like Attack on Titan kind of deal.
Yeah, I just don't want to pop up in, like, I don't know, say a military base, and they're like,
Or like a throne room.
how did you get in here?
Sure. Yeah, would be really difficult to tell.
Yeah, so
yes.
my calculus on this is if we pop up outside the walls of the city, that's less likely, potentially.
It is, although you also know how big the capital is. It's huge.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
fucking huge.
Maybe we just go straight up and get some rest, because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty beat, and it's been a hell of a
In a day.
I think
Been a hell
they
of a day.
actually have a map.
I don't
here.
sleep.
perfect. We no longer need to do Elf Watch.
The city is so large. It has a diameter of 8 miles. It is a huge fucking city. We're talking about a city where an entire civilization of people, if they needed to be, could be contained and protected. It is a huge fucking city. Like, this is full on, like, Attack on Titan, outer wall, inner wall. Not like,
So the chances of
that
us
big, but-
popping up in a throne room are going to be like getting hit by lightning.
needle in a haystack.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
We're just gonna come up in some random person's basement.
Let's just get out of here.
All right.
Whichever way is fastest. Let's go.
Granted, you could try to. These tunnels are already dug. They appear to be dug by something else.
I'm just gonna pick the one that has the most heaviest condensed obsidian concentration
Cool.
that I can find, and that's
yeah,
the one
so-
I'm gonna do.
How are we gonna get up that tunnel? Is my question. Are we gonna climb it?
Yeah, obsidian is a bit slick, because it is volcanic glass. If any of you guys, as you are kind of examining this and testing these tunnels out, all of you can roll a nature check for me if you like. It's also
15.
Obsidian is one of the materials that is naturally occurs, that even if when it's hit and sharpened, creates one of the most sharp edges known to man, like microscopic sharp, because of just how the
I
molecules.
mean, would this really affect me being a metal?
Not you, but should
Flesh feed over here.
should someone slip upon volcanic glass, they could get shredded asunder.
Yeah.
15.
So I'm kind of just like
15. What'd you get for your nature check?
11.
11. And Bastion?
Natural 20 for 22.
22.
I don't know how.
You don't give a shit because
Now that we're out of
because you made a metal?
danger,
I don't know how that. I know this.
I'm like,
are
this doesn't
fine.
affect me.
Well, volcanic glass is actually quite common underwater because there are a lot of geothermal vents underwater, and there's a lot of it has constant impact, so it actually becomes glass immediately, because as soon as it contacts if it's just glass, as soon as it contacts the ocean water, it becomes volcanic glass. So there's probably a lot of chutes that are too narrow made out of obsidian commonly down there. So you don't give a shit because you're made of metal. You realize, very sharp glass. I think what else occurs to you is this is volcanic glass. We must be either put something sulfurous and lava and magma in this position in order to be able to make this. Or I think what occurs, there's a bit of a thought in the back of your head that these, as you're looking at some of these and you kind of inspect a little bit, they don't curve and then as if something burrowed through them. It's almost like they kind of go at right angles. Not right angles, but they go at hard angles sometimes. As if something blasted and then went to the edge of it, and then blasted, and then went to the edge of it, and then blasted. Like something burned through these holes, which would explain the glass. It also would mean that what you realize then, we come to your knowledge, is that if something blasted through these tunnels, the things that have more obsidian in it means that they have more minerals that would create obsidian if blasted by like superheated material.
So they were mining.
Something very, very hot blasted holes through the earth in a extensive labyrinth. Osfer knows that the Midnight Athenaeum is almost entirely, not entirely, but at least the tower and a lot of portions of it and some of the surrounding like almost like foxholes. There's these massive like divots, there's huge like domed divots, reverse domed divots in the wall have obsidian made out of them. So this is not uncommon. You putting your heads together would realize the more obsidian, probably closer to the Midnight Athenaeum. And that's about it. Just don't slip and fall. Easy.
I'll try to because I'm not as bothered by all this stuff.
Yeah.
And since I like him, I don't care about the elf as much. So I basically try to help.
You're full graystoning the elf just as if they don't exist.
I'm still not sure about
Maybe we
the
could
elf.
go this way. What do you think?
Anyway,
Yep.
That's crazy. What do you think?
And I give him some help, like trying to get up.
Sure.
yeah. How steep is this?
There's 17 tunnels that go up. I think it's more of a question is how steep you want to go.
We should pick the steepest one.
Steepest one is like
The steepest one will be A.
I'm not all that good at climbing.
Yeah, we might have to climb that, and that's liable to.
Why don't I climb it and I just
steepest
throw
one is
you
like
down a
rock
rope?
climbing up razor sharp obsidian.
Why don't I just climb it and just throw down
Would you
a
like
rope?
to try to climb it? Metal on glass doesn't really grasp too well. Would
Well,
you like
I
to
would
try?
just like almost, like how they,
crunch into it.
how like you would do like on a glacial,
Yeah, like
like where you got the boots and you
yeah,
just
the spikes.
spike into
crampons.
it. Yeah,
You could try.
and I could just like put anchors.
Pitons.
Yeah,
Petons. I'm sorry, Petons. It's actually proud of Petons. I like language. I have to do it right. You
Yeah,
could
give it a
try.
whirl.
Would you like to try to do that?
yeah, because I'm not affected. So if I fall or something happens to me, it's
You
not
want to
gonna-
carry these dudes then,
Who's gonna?
Well, I could just
throw-
pull them up.
or you just want to lead climb them?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Because this is basically going to be rock climbing on.
because I
sharp
also have
glass.
like good strength, so it just makes sense
Yeah.
that I would do that.
So just for this would be rock climbing on very sharp glass.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is
Like that's the same as
Yeah.
doing ice, I would
sure.
assume.
It just means that basically high risk, high reward.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You can attempt to do so. Why don't you go ahead and first roll a athletics check to like kind of get.
I have
everything-
advantage on any athletics checks.
You have, like how you get the starter backpack with all like the adventure gear and all that shit and everything. That you have like a special compartment that just kind of opens up, like where your kidney stones would be, where you keep all that shit. I'm sorry, your kidneys.
I'm just like,
Adam and I looked at each other right
So
away
many-
because we both had kidney stones.
So many kidney stones. They're
I
just
think
your
we're
stones now.
It's just it lives in our head rent free about like kidney. Anytime the word kidney comes up, we just think of yes, the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced.
so 25 work for you?
Yeah, sure, okay. Sure. So you just kind of like do the whole like when you're trying to dig your feet into like a mud or like ice wall, and you start to ting 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 like create a lead climb avenue.
Yeah,
or
and then that way
trail.
they can just grab onto the rope and just
Yeah.
pull their way up.
Yeah, if you want to do that, yeah.
Yep.
It's going well. I'll say like how
I mean, we'll have to reuse the rope every time, though.
Yeah, that's part of lead climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If any of those out there that are rock climbers, it's pretty much you are leading the climb of
Yep.
lead climbing. This will go by with little to no incident. I'll say you have quite a climb. Do you? You have
Yeah,
like
it's 2,000.
yeah, you're climbing like El Capitan, if not more. Actually, I don't know exactly how tall El Capitan is in Yellowstone, and it is a very extensive climb. And you're doing this because hands are needed to do this type of thing. You're doing this blind, and so's Osfer. Unless you guys want to try to do some shenanigans to try to make some sort of light source that would be hands free.
I mean, you could just stick like a torch on my back or something.
Is the tunnel just pure straight? Or is
No,
it...
it's like this.
Does it... No, I mean, like, you said it was like they blasted, moved to the end.
No, it moves every
blasted.
once in a while, but
Okay.
like on average, it maintains about this type of angle.
Okay.
You know, if it like it might go in a different direction, but it like
Can I have one of them just tie, like, can I have like a little piece of rope tied around me with like the torch like behind me?
sure if you want to. Yeah, if
That
you
way I
want,
can
like,
have both my hands free and have a torch.
You specifically actually have.
Or do I have like a
certain-
little flashlight thing?
You don't have a little flashlight thing. Unfortunately, like the one oversight of the most advanced technology was they didn't give you a flashlight.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on it. But what you do have is that you do have some. There are parts of your back that do like retractable, like one of these, where like possible javelins or other type of weapon storage could go, where you could possibly put a torch
Okay.
if you want there. Yeah, and so you could just have a torch on your back, pretty much meaning that. But that does mean that if they get ever at any point separated from you, they wouldn't. Well, Osfer wouldn't be able to see.
Yeah.
You
I've
need
got-
to maintain close to you.
Yeah, I've got a couple more torches at this point, but
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to hold it while you're
Yeah, yeah.
climbing.
Yeah.
And so they, as the lead
I'd have to
climber,
relight.
have the source of
Yeah.
light. So if you fall,
yep.
you're blind and in a literal, almost literal garbage disposal.
Oh, hopefully don't fall. Hold on to the rope.
So you have a
will
quite
do.
of a ways to go. So we're going to do this in Constitution saving throws to see if you guys have the stamina to do so. Because this is a very steep climb for hours.
There's no place we can rest.
Nope.
I mean, since
Is
it's
this
like
constant athletics for
there's
me?
no like
or...
ledges at at any point that we can hang out on.
Is
This
it
is not a
just-
naturally forming tunnel. This is something that was created by blasts of intense heat that seemingly created quite steep angles. Each time there's like a change in angle, it's still steep
So
again.
super steep. Dang.
Yeah. This is not an easy climb.
Because it would be Constitution or would it be athletics for me?
Right, because you're a machine.
And you had to be
I'll
doing
say
athletics
so.
before.
You still have a power source that it itself still needs to be recharged. Because I want to treat you. You're a machine in the construct, but you're still organic in certain types
nature,
of
yeah.
ways, and which we've talked to before. You still have a power source that helps recharge when it's rested, which is why you gain benefits from short rests and long rests and stuff like that. And it's important for the balance, but yeah, sure, it's still a Constitution saving throw for you. Because I don't think there's actually anything that says you're like immune to exhaustion or anything in there, or you're resistant to it. Because this is more of like an exhaustion type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's nothing about exhaustion here. So yeah, Constitution saving throws all around. What'd you get, Bastion?
Never rolled.
14 for me.
14. Okay.
21.
21.
11.
11. You're okay. You're realizing you just booted up and you're doing extreme intensive, like physically demanding. The mechanical parts of you you definitely sense the creaking of the tension.
Well, I should have oiled these.
Oil can. Cool. You're okay. You move through water all the time. You're fit as a fiddle. Osfer, these people are 2, if not 3 times the size of you. You have to work twice, if not 3 times as hard to keep up with them because I got little legs. And so this is, even though you're used to going up and down the endless stair, not in this environment.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly you're at the edge of where like the light is, and you're trying to make sure your feet aren't in a place where they're going to get shredded, and it's a lot of work. You do get tired very, very quickly. You do suffer 1 point of exhaustion by climbing this, which means that the rest of this climb is going to be a lot more difficult for you. What I will say is that because you are a monk and one of your specific training was climbing the endless stair, acrobatics checks are immune to this point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Because this was your bread and butter that you were like, not this steep, but the endurance of climbing something was your bread. Being an Order of the Open Hoof, acrobatics should be able to surpass any type of exhaustion you would have when it comes to this.
Did you get wall run this level?
I did.
Yeah, that would also apply as well for you should you ever fall.
Yeah.
You need to because at the moment you're holding onto a rope, so you should be fine. It's just a lot.
And how far have we gone already?
So you've gone about halfway at this point.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, and this was hours.
So we're 1,000 feet now from the surface, or from sea level. You said halfway.
1,250 if we cut it in half.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I was looking for.
Okay.
So we'll do it one more time.
Yep.
It's only my turn.
We'll do another Constitution saving throw. You do not have disadvantage on the saving throw. just
Yeah, that's
before.
why I looked it up because I can never remember which the levels
That's
of
not
exhaustions
until,
are. 3.
Yes, 3.
Much better.
Dirty
Much
20.
better.
Dirty 20. You're fine.
17.
17. That's good.
Constitution, right?
Yes.
19.
This is an endurance thing for
Yeah.
sure. 'Cause
19.
hours and hours and hours. Yeah. Both of you grin and bear it and push forward. Eventually, you do come to. It's odd for all 3 of you. You're in first, you're in second, and you're in last, from what I believe we've described it. And you come to what looks like a bookcase that you're coming at it as a very strange angle because the equilibrium is weird, and the horizon is very strange because there's not one here. But it looks like you're traveling at like this type of angle up through like a multi-layered bookcase, and at some point the earth just kind of gives way into like a hallway, and where the bookcase would be, it's not like a bookcase, it's more like a row in a library where there's just books, and the things go up, and you're jutting up on top, so there's this nice big old wide slice that just opens up into open air into a corridor, into an aisle between 2 massive, you don't call them bookcases at that point when they're in the library, do you? What do you call
Shelves.
them? Shelves, like, yeah, just and they extend so long in each direction.
So
that's where you
that's a-
find purchase and land and level ground.
That's a massive safety hazard.
so
It's like an
that's
open pit at the
So
end
this
of
is a
row of
library
books.
with a big hole to
Yeah,
it.
you
to
see
the-
like some books are like kind of like in the circle that is the slanted like ellipse of the whatever beam or whatever the heated would be coming from it. Like some of the books are actually charred partially in half, and like
Okay.
parts of them are obsidian and they're still sitting on the shelf.
So somebody just burned right through the library, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're on the surface now.
This to you, why don't you go ahead and roll a history with advantage?
Does my altimeter show 0 at this point?
Your altimeter shows about like 450. You're at the surface.
Oh, I'm at the surface.
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause-
So I'm above sea level.
Yeah, you're like 450, almost 500, like somewhere around
Oh,
there.
okay.
Like so, meaning that you are at one of the highest points of the hill of where the capital would be. Meaning that you're most likely. Well, why don't you go ahead and roll a history?
13.
13. Your best guess? Books near the center of the hill. Most likely because of the angle you took in the capital. You could be well within the actual catalog librarian Midnight Athenaeum, like within the actual Midnight Athenaeum. As you step out and take a look. One of the things you do notice is that there are like those motion sensor lights, but like arcane little lights that are not fire, but like more of a white and blue light.
Do I need to be concerned about these?
No, these are just. This is part of your program, and these are just motion sensor lights that turn on the area when people are there, so they can
So
see.
y'all
what it is
have a
they're doing.
big rock tower filled with books.
Yeah, do
Landers
I
are
know?
weird
You, like,
sometime.
Climb out and like flop out. You do notice that the obsidian ends at that like ellipse. That is that weird, strange.
Do you
Enter-
guys want to rest?
So that sounds to me like this originated down and came up. Not that no one would start this in the middle of a library.
The library itself, that you know is like stone and other types of material and wood. Only the tower is pretty much made. That's within the middle of the Midnight Athenaeum is made of that obsidian that has veins of gold that goes up it. This big black tower with gold veins.
Do I know what the Midnight Athenaeum is?
Yeah, you would know what it
what
was.
is
The Midnight Athenaeum is a massive, very, very, very old archive and library that sits at the very center of the capital of the Protectorate. It is said to be not perhaps, it is the, I want to say cornerstone, but that type of thing as far as building the proper of the city around in this area before it starts. But civilization, but there were other peoples that started around it just because it was such a massive landmark, and they didn't want to get too close to it because it was, a big obsidian, huge thing is a bit ominous. So they didn't want to get too close to it. So there's actually quite a bit of birth of just like grassland. That's just there's nothing there between that and where the actual inner like city starts. And then it goes into the inner city, the outer city, the walls between them. The Midnight Athenaeum is quite old. It is fabled to be, or at least used to be, run by a very powerful magician from ages who knows how long past. And as far as like the lore and the myth go about it, it is fallen into somewhat decline just because it is something that actually, this is a very good point, because your pilgrimage is so important with collecting information. This is still something that you maintain a connection with, and it is really common. It's just become more of just kind of like, oh yeah, hey, what's going on? Yeah. All right, yeah, not too much new, because the only people that are really running it are a bunch of old dudes that are just like, oh, this is where it's supposed to be. All right, okay, whatever. It's fallen into quite a lot of decline. At least in the contemporary age.
Is it publicly accessible?
For,
Are there any
Would
books?
I
worth-
know-
how many people? There's not a lot of people have tried. It's
Well,
not really
yeah.
interesting to a lot of people.
Would I know if we're not supposed to be here?
Oh, there isn't anything specifically saying that people aren't allowed to go to it. There's
Okay,
not like
cool.
any statute or anything like that.
Okay.
It's just so old that like people have forgotten about it. Even though it's like the center of the Protectorate, people have forgotten that it's even, except for the fact that it's an eyesore in your vision of the horizon. Most people have forgotten about it. Not a lot of people go here.
I'm kind of interested in the books at this point.
There are trillions of books within the Midnight Athenaeum.
Do y'all want to find some place to? Well, I mean, like, maybe let's
I don't.
get
Osfer,
out of
like,
here.
And
Could
flops
use,
onto the
I could
ground.
use a rest.
I don't feel like they're gonna appreciate us just camping out in the middle of their library.
Yeah.
So we should find our way out of here. Are you coming with us? Or you got a job to do?
I'm just kind of like I'll still go with them, but like I'm kind of like just scanning for like any books that might like tell me either about the histories
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check for me, or investigation?
or just to like kind of update my
Sure.
Like,
I'll leave it to you. Either
about-
perception or investigation.
They're about the same. So 14.
14. I think to truncate it and just make it really concise, there are, from just kind of glancing, the vibe you're getting from some of these books is that quite a few of these books, like, a decent, perhaps a third of these books that in your immediate area that you're seeing could have been made after the time that you understand it may be now. Like you were led to understand, like would be your completion of construction, like future books, as
Yeah.
it were. Meaning that you're, and then you're kind of getting an idea as to how far that you could be 1,000, if not more, years into the future than you thought.
Okay.
If you were to be activated when you were finished, if that was the baseline of like what you
Yeah.
thought time was, these could be 1,000, if not much, much more. So many, 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 many years have passed. Granted, we also don't know how well up to date the Midnight Athenaeum is, too.
And I just offhandedly asked these guys, I'm like, what year is it right now?
That's another thing, too, because you know the Midnight Athenaeum as a bustling center of knowledge with a lot of people manning it. It seems like a ghost town. This is very odd.
Funny you should ask that.
They're like,
You would know what
Yeah,
year it is. It's
I know.
year 1016.
Yeah.
1016. And,
1016.
and what was my last log?
So this is actually, you just talk because this makes sense because 1016 doesn't mean shit to you.
Okay.
1016 what?
Yeah. I mean, what does my log say? What was my last log entry date?
Ooh, fuck. That's a good question. God damn it. How dare you hoist How dare you hoist me by my own petard?
I have to have a certain reference point.
Not like it would mean too much, but I think your year would probably be like 123. And you know that the 123 is referencing the number since the war began,
Okay.
which is what's important to you. Like that's the landmark of.
Is there
of
like
time.
like a beast like for example, just for example purposes, like BC or AD?
Yeah,
or
it
anything
would
like
be.
that?
I'm trying to think of like, because I know what it would be for the elves, but it would be different for you. It would be.
You said 123.
Yeah, it would be like 123 PI, like 123 post invasion. As far as like, if we would talk about common.
And then I
numbers
ask
that we
him,
had.
1610 what?
Yeah, what do we keep time from?
You keep time from the 1016 EA is your Enlightenment age, and that is just the time when you started learning from your past and your history.
When the
So as
monkish order started writing things down. Right.
not necessarily that, but also when it's when all of the nations agreed upon the law of the Bardic University.
That's what the Bardic.
And the Bardic University said, hey, we should have some sort of, like, we need to have at least one thing that we all agree upon, and that has to be with learning from history and going to seek it out. And they said, fine, sure. It pretty much was like the Library of Alexandria in reverse.
And so my goal at this point is just to try to figure out the difference between when PI ends and when EA begins.
Yeah, which who knows how long that could be. Like,
Or when that switched over.
yeah.
Sorry, that's not much of a help. But it seems like
But
you've
at
been
the very
asleep for
least-
quite a while.
The 129 years or 20, what does I say? 100.
Oh, well, I tell them that my last log entry date was 123 PI.
Yeah, I don't know how long ago that is.
Calendars don't mean too much to me, so I'm not helping this conversation at all.
Yeah, more of like a farmer's almanac rather than anything else.
You know when carrots
Well,
grow?
Maybe maybe there's
Generations back. 6 growing seasons.
maybe there's someone here in the city who can piece these things together. But it seems like quite a long time.
I mean, I think we should find somebody to ask these questions, or we should find a way out of here. And
Yeah, let's go get some rest.
I just got put back together.
Sounds good.
Well, you two have that in common.
You were missing your head. I was missing my legs. They're reattached now, but
Same with my head.
yep.
All right, let's get out of here.
So, just by basic logic, you would understand that at the very least it's been over 1,000 years, because if the Enlightenment Age, EA, began at the exact year that yours, which is unlikely, even then, it would be a new age and there would be at least 1,000 years. So, 1,000 or more years. have
Yeah,
passed.
it seems like there's at least probably closer to 2,000 years that probably passed.
It's possible.
At least. By my probabilistic calculations.
So we start walking in one direction.
Yeah, trying to find our way out of this place.
Is it dark? Is it lit? Well lit?
It is pitch black except for when you walk into an area and like the motion sensor magic, like blue and white flames flicker on and like light your way so that they just kind of follow you.
Everything else is just darkness. No sounds, no life.
It's just darkness. I mean, this is a massive. We're talking about huge labyrinthine library.
Probably want to stay quiet. We don't know what's here. Last time I was here, this was a bustling city. Now, there is no life.
So the bookshelf we came out of was against the wall.
No,
We
you came
through
like out of the
obsidian.
ground through like the bottom of a bookcase.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, there's no like walls, stone walls, except for the floor. You can't even see the ceiling; it's so far up.
Okay.
It's important to know.
Just keep our hand on a bookshelf and start walking.
I think the rule of right is what we want to follow at this point.
Yeah, you could start like trying to map this area if you want. You are probably the most familiar with this area. Like you've been programmed with knowledge of what the Midnight Athenaeum is. You have a map of what the Midnight Athenaeum is, but the problem is that you're having trouble superimposing what you know onto what it is because there's been
So to
a lot
change.
of damage. There's been some change and a lot of damage. You're walking by. There are other obsidian tunnels that appear to come up every once in a while. Not very commonly, every once in a long while, but they do seem to come up. Like something permeated the inner sanctum of this place. But you guys can keep going. I'll say survival checks for the lot of you.
Four.
22.
3.
22.
4.
You're having a lot of like fatal errors of like stuff's just not fitting into. Whatever. This is two-dimensional. What? Why don't we just swim up? Oh, right. And Oscar's like, okay, I know books, kind of. Like, my whole thing was to collect information in books. Like, usually there's some sort of system to organize them.
Yeah, they don't put them in a maze.
Yeah, it's not usually in a maze. It's usually in some sort of grid. If we go far enough in one direction, eventually we'll find an end to this aisle, and then usually at the aisle there's some sort of designation where we can decide like which way we go, So you realize like the best decision is to just keep going in one direction. Eventually, you will find where you need to be. So you continue, and you continue, and you do find the edge of this. This which then leads to a large perpendicular corridor of many other, as far as you can see, as running lights go down of like many other aisles and many other aisles in the other direction. What you do kind of get the sense of is that some of them appear to be curved in a fashion where you can tell which way is farther into the interior and which way is farther into the exterior. Which way would you like to go? Or would you like to examine more of the designations and like the signage here?
I'll take a quick look at the signage.
Okay, cool. It appears to be written in common, but with a like old kind of effect, kind of like when you tried to read those really big filigree, the T is like half of the fucking page kind of bullshit of the old,
Needlessly calligraphic.
yeah, it needs what is
Calligraphy.
Yeah, but what's the fucking, not the Guido Arezzo, but the chamber music, what is it fucking called? I'm not thinking about it. But the like old English filigree, it's kind of like that, but you do sense a bit of a dialect of primordial as well inserted into it, which you're very familiar with, and you're like, oh, I know this. Like, this is actually quite familiar to you. Like, it's been a while since you've seen this, but there are quite a bit of stuff that's this old, and this type of written text that's in the archives that we try to keep from that we collect from the pilgrimages in the temple. And something clicks, and you're like, holy fucking shit. This is probably the whole pilgrimage of you going to find more information, even though there are, that whole like, loosely this, that, and this, between the Athenaeum and the temple, and they are in constant contact-ish, because there's like barely anybody working at the Athenaeum anymore, and because it's such old hat, barely actually any good information is being traded in those types of exchanges. And you're realizing that now that you're here, there is an ungodly amount of wealth of information hidden here, and you could solve perhaps 50 pilgrimages 3 times over with just the information within 300 feet of you. There is so much here. So much here. Impossible to catalog it within dozens and dozens of lifetimes. Finding the right information here within good time is going to be the most difficult part. But there's
like a
so
spot for a new
much
temple.
here. And you're getting the idea that it's very, very, very old. You're also getting the idea that a lot of it is perhaps lost forever and damaged due to this obsidian tunneling and like blasting that appears to just laser right through a bunch of these books. But you have this like epiphany of like, oh my God, this is actually a lot more information than we ever thought, and a lot of it's just been lost to the fact that information's been lost over generations and nobody fucking works here anymore. It's been right under your noses this whole time.
Sandbagging you.
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
sitting on the information and not sharing it.
We're about to set up a new temple over here.
So do we go in and try and talk to somebody, or are we heading out?
Oh, but you asked what they said. They're just like, your version of Dewey Decimal bullshit.
Cool. Well, I guess based on that, if we would try to leave, which way would I think we would want to go?
To the exterior rather than to the interior, because the interior would lead towards the tower.
Okay. Gotcha.
Exterior. it is.
Exterior. This way.
Yep.
Yep. Let's
Yep.
go.
Do you think anybody that is still here, they could answer some of our questions?
There's no bones or anything
Not
else
worth
like
it.
dead librarians
They
or
might be able to.
people
but I'd
anywhere.
prefer to rest and come back. I don't know
Like
if we
no
have
remains
rooms here.
anywhere.
All right.
Like in our travel throughout the library.
I will say, why don't all three of you roll perception checks if you've been traveling through here to see if you do see remains or something unusual.
Investigation
or hear?
perception.
Perception. Because investigation would mean you would be stopping and poring over information.
Okay.
Does that involve hearing or smell?
It would be sight. I mean,
It
dead
would-
body don't move.
They smell though.
Not these old.
I got an 18.
9.
17.
Maybe musty. I'm sorry, what?
18.
18?
17.
17? What'd you get? I'm sorry, 9? Okay. I think you do start to have like a bit of an atmospheric thing of like musty area, and you both kind of are pulled towards just a little bit. You're going down this grander corridor that goes to the. It seems to be going to the exterior due to the curve of the book of the aisles and the bookcases, and you both kind of look at each other and acknowledge, even though they're an elf, you see them come to the same conclusion as you at the same time, and look off, just take a moment, pause, and then continue to walk a little bit farther off the path. And these two people are just going off the path. And you're like, what the fuck? Why? I said this way. And but just a couple steps in, you do see what looks like perhaps the smallest remains of maybe what was a bone that's been petrified and now has almost grown into, like, fallen into part of the wood of the bottom floorboard of one of the areas. There may be a couple rib bones, and it is right next to, on the other side of a hole from obsidian.
So the bone has grown into the wood?
Like, not grown into wood. It's been like the bone's been there so long that its weight has caused the wood to, as if it would decay naturally, but the weight of it has caused it to kind of create an indate where it kind of cradles the bone. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And where there are a couple like kind of rib bones that are in those types of position, and maybe a couple spinal pieces where it is so old. It has been here so long that even the bones have turned to dust. But it is right across from a hole that comes from down in the ground where they're obsidian. There looks to be a lot of other dust areas where there was probably more than just books, perhaps garments in this area as well. Something came from underground, came into the Midnight Athenaeum. Perhaps people, because it looks like the right side of bone, and then perished almost immediately. But seems to be without combat.
Actually, that was a good point you made earlier. Maybe we want to travel deeper and see if there's people here that can put us up. You know, maybe there are rooms here, and we can get some more answers before we head out.
I mean, this is sort of your type of place.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't hurt to learn more. What do you think?
If their records go back that far, maybe they have answers for some of the things.
It would
we
definitely be helpful to know how much time has actually passed so that I can get a better understanding of what's happened since then.
Okay, works for me. About face. And then we head deeper into the Midnight
So you
Athenaeum.
come out of the side and you just start going the other way. There is a moment, passive perceptions of 14 or higher.
16.
16,
15.
15. I love how the monk's the one's like, oh.
My wisdom is not that high. Wait,
For a monk?
it's only 3. It's what, 10 plus your wisdom mod?
10 plus your
plus your
wisdom mod.
perception.
Plus your perception bonus.
I'm not trained in perception.
Okay,
That's
that
my
makes So both of you register what sounds like a buzzing sound off in the distance.
Okay.
Sound.
Like a fly?
Like, it sounded like first, like maybe you're just like adjusting to the altitude and you need to pop your ears, not for you, but like or something, or to depth, or just maybe it's just like ringing in the
bees?
ears, or just something because it's so quiet here.
Perhaps bees?
But you sense like a buzzing. And as you continue to walk, it's first you just kind of dismiss it, and it like starts to get kind of louder and a little bit more directional, almost like straight ahead now that you've about faced.
Are any more of like the security lights going on? Like, do we see
Yeah,
light?
as you
coming?
walk, they follow you, and then they
No,
turn
but I
off
mean,
once they get.
Like, are we seeing any other besides our spot of light?
Mhm.
Is there any other spot of light?
Ah, you mean like off in the distance?
If like someone else moving around in the.
I'll roll perception check.
I mean, I'm next to him, I'm assuming?
Yeah, you can
23.
11.
11. You don't see anything. You look. You don't see anything. You look straight ahead. You don't see anything. Something compels you to look up, and you start to see. You don't know how tall these fucking. What they go off of. Even your dark vision cuts off where you still can't see the top. But you do see way off in the distance of what was tiny little specks of light. Way, way, way up, and far away. Some little lights beginning to shimmer in the darkness. And it does appear to be moving in a direction.
Okay. Well, we're going towards the center.
Yep.
Is it also?
It appears to be in an intercept course, kind of like going along the same line that you are,
Okay.
but way, way, way above. And as you continue, the buzzing gets louder and louder to the point where it sounds like almost static, like from a TV. Osfer, only at this point do you notice that there's like other sound here.
Weird.
You,
Our libraries don't
a
buzz.
Bastion would have no fucking clue what this sounds
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
Do you normally have like insects in your libraries?
No.
Crabs would be for you because crustaceans are.
I mean, I've been on land long enough to know what an insect
Yeah,
sounds
sure.
like.
Since I'm a military unit, would I have any, like, bestiarity?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you. To you, roll a nature check. You can roll a nature check too if you like.
We try really hard to keep the bugs out of the
You
library.
don't think you know enough
6.
about the kingdom of insect?
16.
That is a 20 for a 19.
Sure. I love how you say that every time.
I have a -1 intelligence.
What'd you get?
16.
16. I think both of you understand that this sounds like some sort of insect in flight. Perhaps a plague of locusts, which would be horrible for the library. A
would. bunch
of moths,
Also
or
bad
other
for the
type of
library.
buzzing and type of insects.
And I start thinking to myself, man, I wish I would have changed out my laser cannon for a flamethrower.
Oh no!
Not in the library.
You think you say that in your inner monologue, but you say that out loud, and Osfer just turns around and looks at you all weird.
Don't burn the book.
Go gadget bug zapper.
Osfer, you
Tennis racket arm with the. Zzzt.
this is a little bit more familiar to you. It's weird because your internal brain, like, this is a pleasant sound to you because this means that, all the rocks tongue on the mountainside is going to be pollinated. That's the first thought that you come to me, like, oh, they're bees.
Destroy.
Wait, why is there a huge, it sounds like a lot of bees. Why are there so many bees inside a library? That doesn't make any sense.
Probably not good. Might explain why there's not any people here.
Whoever that is that's coming our way may be able to answer those questions. So
So we want to
Just the big cloud
fight
of
or
bees
flight.
can answer your questions.
we'll find out in the center.
Are we going to fight or flight at this point?
Keep going.
Because those things are coming after us, I'm thinking.
I say let's keep going.
You keep going until like the light that you can see now is almost directly above you and then stops as you continue to pass under it. And then very quickly the sound of bees becomes very, very loud as you see lights go and it travels very, very fast straight down. Anything you guys doing, or are you just plodding along? What sounds like could possibly be thousands of bees, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of bees.
I don't know that bees are dangerous.
I'm talking to these two.
I'm at me.
Yeah, you don't give a
can't
fuck.
get
You don't give a fuck. What are you doing?
I mean, do they sound angry? Is it like are they
When
swarming?
was the last time you've seen that many bees that weren't angry in one place?
I don't know.
Probably never.
Maybe fighting some bees. I don't know.
Just what do you do? Do you
You're
just-
the
I
flesh
don't know.
sack.
Animal handling check.
What would I have a better question? What would Alex do if he heard that?
Lots and lots of bees
Yeah,
in a pitch black library.
yeah.
I mean, that's probably not good.
Would you stay where you are and just keep walking?
Start running.
Probably not.
Yeah, you'd probably
run
start running,
away.
right?
Yeah, probably run away.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, like, logic would dictate that Osfer's like,
We should go.
I like bees, but
These bees seem angry.
so Osfer just starts running, and you guys do the whole thing like, oh, what are we running for? And you just start running.
But he's exhausted, so he's only
Yeah.
moving at half speed.
No. He's
So
only
I-
got 1
I-
point. He doesn't have 2 points.
I pick
2
him up
point.
along the way.
Yeah. He does move slower than you. No, actually, he moves pretty fast because he's
move
got the
faster
monk. So he's actually faster than both of you.
Yep.
He doesn't get the speed halved until he has 2 points. He only has 1.
Okay.
But yes, you like try to pick him up. He's like, let me go. And he keeps running fast. Both of you are like, what are we running from? Eventually, this cloud of bees does catch up to you. They're not stinging you. They just kind of like hover around you. Every once in a while, some like latch onto you, and you can feel because they have like those sharp, feet that cling on, and you can feel that. You can tell it's the difference between like an ant and a bee. You can really tell. But some of them cling on to you. It's like You just do that panic thing.
Just pass gas.
Do any of you swat at any of the bees?
If they're not stinging me, no.
Okay. Bastion? Okay. Wonderful.
I'm following his lead.
I mean,
This
if
is
they're
really-
doing
he
anything to
starts
me,
getting
I'm just
covered in bees
This
as
is
you're
really
running.
weird, but they're not stinging you. It's okay.
You say through a mask of bees, they're not stinging you. It's okay. Eventually, there's a moment where your vision becomes so obscured by the bees crawling on your face that you can't see. You fully can't see. And there is a voice that says, wait a moment, just stop. It's what? You okay? Do you stop?
Are you talking to us?
As you turn around and face the sky with a face full of bees.
Are these your insects?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll take care of it. Come here. And then you see, as like bees start to exit from your face, there appears to be some individual hanging from the side of one of the bookcases into the corridor, holding on with what appears to be claws and like a tail, and a bunch of mushrooms that are growing all over their body, with horns and yellow skin, and like kind of like gesticulating and like dancing. Like this is the language they understand, and just dancing. And the bees start to exit you and kind of go around them, and like a flock of anchovies in the air just mimic their dancing. And it looks like an Ibkest individual. He's like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And spit it out. Why do you like my bees?
Hey, man, they came to us. But
Not the man, but that's fine.
we came up through the tunnels. We found ourselves underground.
Oh, shit.
And climbed up the tunnels to get here.
And you didn't get, like... Oh, no, that's right. That's gone now.
Didn't get what?
I think you should probably talk to my mentor. Yeah?
We did have some questions if you were willing to answer.
Great. They love questions. They hate giving answers, though.
Yeah, I know a few people like that.
Yeah. Yep, that's all right. But yeah, if you can lead us or point us or... We found him down there in the basement. turned him on. He helped us get up.
I'm
here.
sorry? You turned them on?
Yeah. We didn't know where we were going, so we
turned him on?
like his head was not
Is this
attached.
a kink?
His head was not attached. We attached it and activated him.
His head was not a... Is this a kink thing?
No.
Is this... You do this for fun? Is this a...
No.
Look, you're not going to surprise me. I'm from Solis. It's fine. Like, you know...
We found him down there, not turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Not powered? Powered.
Oh.
So we put him fully together.
I'm sorry, sometimes it's really boring here. You're a thing? I've read about you. Why are you here?
He was down there.
You read about me.
Yes, you're a Zektek. I know what you are. Why are you here?
I'm trying to find my time.
Roll a deception check. I think that you don't know that you're lying. I think it's like something that you know why you're here, but you don't know.
Deception. Let's see here. 19.
19. Okay. And they just kind of wave, and a big wave of bees just spread out through the entire area, triggering a bunch of the motion sensor lights, and very Page Master style, a massive swath of the big Athenaeum becomes lit up, and you can see just the vastness of how huge this place is. You can see the damage from the tunnels that sometimes go all the way up through the bookcases, tunneling through them as though they were ground, that just spreads out through this massive column until there is a massive double doors at the end of it. Well, we should continue then. I'm Queenie. It's good to see you and meet you, I guess.
Bastion.
Osfer Goodmeadow. Pleased to meet you.
I recognize your garb. We'll do our best.
Fade.
Okay, let's get going. And that's where we're going to end our session today. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Bye.